Uh, Hi guys, this is Abhishek here. If I'm audible to all of you, can you please quickly write it on the chat window so that we can get started right away? Hi, good morning guys. Hi Hari, hi Vijay. Hello Rahul. Hi Satya. Hello Anup, how are you? Okay, great. So I think everyone is in. Abhishek, are you able to hear me? Hi Shyam. Abhishek, am I audible to you as well? If you can quickly, good morning Dayanand. Okay, so I think everyone is in. We have around 8 people in the class. Okay. Yeah.
Muted. Unmuted.
Okay, so let's get started. A very good morning to all of you, and folks from the US, good evening, and I hope it's not too late for you. So this is what we are going to do today. Okay, so last week we studied a lot of things, and Hari, you are able to hear me? Sorry. Yeah, last week thanks. So last week we studied a lot of things at the concept level, right? It was more of a very, very high level concept level class. So this time what we're going to do is we'll look at all those things which whatever we saw on the cluster itself, we'll do it practically. Okay. So before that, I mean, has everyone done the assignment which was given to you last week? Has everyone tried it out? Great. So can you quickly tell me the answer to that, everyone? Hari, Dayanand, Shyam, were you able to do? Thank you. Okay. Okay. Abhishek, how about you? You got a chance to look at that? So yeah, I think Shyam, what you can do is you can just give it a shot today if possible. Okay, if you need any help, you can take the help from the support guys. Uh, Abhishek, I'm not sure if you're able to hear me because I've not got a response from you till now. So let me just send a chat. Hi Abhishek. Yeah. Thanks for responding. I was just wondering if you're able to actually hear me. Guys, just a second. Okay, no problem. Great. So now whoever has done the assignment, very good. Thank you very much. And let's look at what is happening here. I mean, what are we going to do today in today's class? Just before that, I mean, you guys remember whatever we discussed in the last class, Shyam, everyone who were not able to find a lot of time for assignments. Satyam, I believe you joined yesterday's class as well, right? Okay, no problem, Satyam. So just give it a shot today, okay? But you guys remember whatever we discussed last week? Vijay, are you there? Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. So you all of you remember whatever we discussed last week. Let's do a quick recap of what we did last week, and then based on that, let's get started and let's look at what is in store today. Okay, and so everyone has one more question before we get started. Everyone has set up the cluster at their end. Is there anyone who has not set up the cluster yet? Great. Abhishek has done it. Vijay, how about you? You also have the setup done? I mean, I'll just show you from where to do that on the LMS itself. Okay, great. So anyone, Anup has confirmed that. Hari, how about you? You have a cluster setup in front of you. And the reason, yeah, the reason I am asking this is because today, if you do not have the cluster setup, right, it might, yeah, thanks Satyam. Yeah, CDS3 is what I want, right? It will become a little difficult for you to follow because we'll be doing everything on the cluster. So Shyam, what you can do is, uh, I'll ask someone from the support team to get in touch with you. Hi Narayan. I'll ask someone from the support team to get in touch with you, Shyam, and they'll give you remote access to our one of the clusters here, okay? So that you can do the practicals along with the class. Okay, yeah, I think Hari, yeah, it should be installed already. If not, you can just check with someone from the support team. They'll help you out. Okay, so I'll just ask. Just give me 1 second, Shyam. Okay, okay, Narayan. So, okay, no problem. So what do you suggest? Now, just give me Shyam, just give me 1 second. I'll make sure that you have the cluster set up there. Vinayak is also in. Okay, just give me 1 second. Shyam, if you have Skype there, right, you can just connect with the support team. I've just informed them. Okay, they'll help you in setting, in giving you access to our cluster remotely. Narayan, in your case, will you have the cluster access right now? Vinayak, how about you? You have the cluster access right now? You've set up the cluster on your system? Hi, Vinayak. Yeah, Vinayak, I was just checking with everyone if they have the cluster set up at their end, because that will be really required. Yes, yes, we need. Yes, Abhishek, you will need that. You need to have that setup access. No, if you have set it up on your system, because we'll be doing some hands-on today. We'll be running some commands. So last week, whatever we did on the theoretical level, on a concept level, we'll be seeing that happening. Yeah, sure, Narayan. So the session is anyways will be sent to you. Okay. So okay, Vinayak, I just wanted to check with you as well that if you have the CDH3 access. So let me show you how it will look like if everyone has that. So your Cloudera VM must be set. Okay, so let's get started with that only directly. Okay, first I'll check this and then the password will be Cloudera. Okay, and let's log in and let's see what all is there. So is everyone, Narayan, I want everyone to be in CDH3. Okay, so Abhishek, the difference between yeah, sure, no problem, Avinayak, take your time. The difference between CDH3 and CDH4 is that CDH4 is the new version, which is Gen 2. Okay, now we will be using CDH3 only. Okay, Narayan, I suggest that we use CDH3. See, that is the one which will be used everywhere in the production environments. Okay, so it's very important that we use the same thing which you will actually eventually going to use in your office or wherever, right? Okay, so Vijay, yeah, Vijay, if you have installed CDH4 already, that's also fine. Okay, but we will be using CDH3 for today's session. Okay, so what you can also do is we can give you access on remote. We can give you access, okay, for CDS3, and after the class you can install CDS3 itself. Is that fine? Well, Narayan, it's already there, right? Last class I showed you from where to download. In the LMS itself, go to my courses. Now, if you're trying to download now, probably not a very good idea because it takes a lot of time. Okay. So this is the, yeah. So this is the place from where you should download. I think we should put a note here that this will be used in the class. Okay. So guys from the support team, whoever is listening to me, please make sure that you put a note here that this will be used in the class so that the people download the right thing. Okay. Okay. So this is the one which everyone has to install. So I think whoever does not have the access can you can quickly uh, come to the so this is the way everyone has access to the LMS, right? Vinayak, how about you? You have access to the LMS as well as, so whoever does not have the access to the CDS3 right now, what you can do is that you can just go to this remote login using Putty, click on this download the setup, and you will be in within 2-3 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Vinayak, you should actually use CDS3 in this. Okay. But for now, what you can do is you can always change that later on. But for now, what you can do is you can use this document to log in into our cluster remotely for this session. Okay. Is that fine? So meanwhile, what I want you to do is all of you, whoever has access to CDS3, open it. Whoever does not have the access to CDS3, go ahead and download this putty thing, okay, and get access to the cluster. Okay, I will while you guys do this, I'll quickly go do a quick revision of what we did last class, so that I mean we have the context set and we'll go ahead today. Okay, so let's look at what we did in the last class. So now everyone understands this diagrams, everyone remembers this diagram. Everyone knows the difference between active and passive name node and secondary name node. You just need to tell me yes. I don't want the explanation. Just want to revise a few things. Am I audible to everyone? Everyone knows the difference between secondary name node and name node? Anyone who is not very, okay, great, very nice, thank you. Everyone knows what is the difference between active and passive name node, and where is it used? Great. So which version of Hadoop has active name node, or rather passive name node? Okay, Gen 2, great. Thank you very much. Okay, thanks Satyam, thank you very much. Yeah, that is one. You also know how does write happen on HDFS? You know the difference between posted and non-posted write? Everyone knows the difference between posted and non-posted write, guys? Great, thanks Satyam. So yes, so non-posted write is which one? Which one is with acknowledgement? You can write NP or P. Yeah, I want this answer from everyone, okay? Hari, did you understand, did you attend the class last week? You did? Okay. So yeah, I think, see, I also want everyone to do one thing. Okay, before the class, just go through the class video once again. From this week, what we're trying to introduce is something called a class highlights. Okay, which will be a small video of say 5-10 minutes. Okay, which will cover all the things which were covered in the class, so that you don't have to go through that 4-hour class. What is your idea about this particular concept? Do you think that will help? Instead of going through that 3 to 4 hour class, if we can give you a 10-minute thing, yeah. So that's what I've suggested to the support team. So what we'll do, it will be a quick video with some music in the background, which will just go through all the slides, have some pop-ups there, which will show you these are the concepts covered. Great. So you can quickly revise things, and whenever you need to go to something in detail, you know where to go in that long class, right? For example, if you start looking at this class video, the first 15-16 minutes we are just talking about not really anything which is useful if you revise this, right? But in this class it is important. If I just straight away start from that doesn't help, right? So let's do that. I'll try to get that done today sometime, and I'll send it across for the first class as well as for the second class. Okay, Thanks. Okay, now while we were talking, does everyone now has the access to the cluster? Either the putty thing or can I quickly get a yes from everyone? Shyam, Abhishek, Vinayak, the people who did not have. So Satyam, the answer to that is non-posted. So posted write is with okay, Vijay, you keep on doing. So posted write is without any uh, yeah, posted write is without any sure, no problem, Abhishek. You can go ahead. Let me explain a few things. So anyone who has the access to the cluster and has some questions from the last class, whom they want to what if they want to clarify something? Okay, please write it here. I can answer them before everyone gets ready. It's important that everyone has access to this before we get started. Okay. So yeah. So Satyam, I was telling you that it is not the what the posted write is like, you remember, right? Posted write is like just you send a postcard, don't worry about the acknowledgement. Non-posted like a courier. Okay, so and we also know that the write happens in HDFS and sequentially, right? And with that sequential acknowledgement, okay, and read happens in parallel, right? We also remember the YouTube example which we gave last time. Everyone remembers the YouTube example last time which we gave you? Shyam and everyone who's listening in. Anup, yeah, Dayanand says yes, great. So we also understand why it is okay to do sequential write and with acknowledgement, because we want to make sure that we've actually uploaded the right video. Okay, and why we need to have parallel reads, because we want to know that okay, from wherever it is possible, quickly get me that video, right? Good. So you remember that? Okay, okay, Hari. Okay, no problem. So Hari, what we can also do is that I mean, if you have any specific question, I can answer that. Probably repeating the whole thing will be uh, slightly difficult. Yeah. Okay. Sure. No problem, Shyam. So what you can do, Shyam, is you can get in touch with the support team. Okay. Uh, okay, and these guys can help you out with that. So everyone else has the access. Let's get started. So let me ask you a few questions before everyone gets started, and you can keep answering them. You know what is HDFS? We have a few poll questions as well. I don't know if we've taken the same questions earlier. It doesn't really matter. Let me ask a few questions from here. So guys, please answer this question. It's there on your screens. You don't have to answer in the chat window. I want you to answer right there. So everyone should answer this. Okay. Yeah. So I have few more guys who have not yet answered. I want everyone to answer if they don't mind. Thank you. Yeah. So I think most of the people have answered. So let's get ahead. Everyone has given the right answer. Okay. So quickly the answer to this as well. Hari, you don't have to answer on the chat window. You have to answer there itself. You have to select a choice there itself. Yeah. Everyone can everyone answer this? Anyone who has not answered, Vinayak or Vijay? Hmm. Okay, you know that. Okay, great. Okay. Another important question, which can be asked in interviews usually. Yeah, guys, everyone has to answer. Whether right or wrong doesn't matter. Make sure that you answer this. Okay. So the right answer is 64 MB and not 1 MB 1024 KB. This is not the right answer. Right answer is 64 MB. We remember we talked last time that the more important thing with Hadoop is that it should have a large data set, right? So large block size is very important. Otherwise the overheads themselves take a lot of uh, resources, right? So the right answer is 64 MB. Forever, whoever who has not answered, the right answer is 64 MB. Okay, just a second. And here comes your next question. Sorry, sorry. Yeah. So I'm saying the name node is the thing where you. Hari, are you able to hear me now? Yeah. So the name node is the place where the metadata is kept. So this is the place where the metadata will be kept, right? Okay. Okay. Let's look at the next question. Yeah. So the right answer is Hadoop file system. It is not stored in any data server. Okay. Good. So now let's look at this one quickly. In just 5 seconds, you have to answer this one. Yeah, everyone has to answer this. Okay, great. So the answer is slave. Okay. Yeah, so this one is a little out of context. We did not discuss much about it last time, but I still want you to answer this one as well. So number of reduces are set by by the user only. Okay. In the next class, we'll get into that detail. So the reason I put this question here is so that you get that even if you get a wrong answer here, you should remember this, and next time we'll discuss this. Okay. Fine. So are you able to see my screen, guys, now? Uh, is my screen visible to everyone? Hello? Okay, great. Okay, yes, that's fine. Yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. So now, yes, Dayan. So these questions I don't want you to actually answer. I just want you to think about them and make sure that in your mind you are clear about them. Okay. So what is HDFS? I don't even want a response from you. What is HDFS? What is the difference between Hadoop database and relational database? What is name node? What is the secondary name node? Difference between Gen 1 and Gen 2 Hadoop, right? So these things I want you to, yeah. then we can look at that question later after the class. Okay, if something, or if you can just quickly write it here, I can probably answer it, or we'll answer that. Okay, so Dayanand is asking me a question which I think everyone should know. There was a quiz question. Did everyone attempt the quiz after in the LMS? Has everyone attempted that? Okay, Hari has done it. Vinayak, did you try the quiz? Great. Okay. So it was a simple quiz. Okay, Shyam, I suggest that you also try that. Satyam, I also want you to try that. Okay. So there was a question, out of these options, what combination can a master node consist of? Job tracker, task tracker, name node. Name node and data node, job tracker, task. I mean, the question is not very clear to me here. Let me open the quiz itself and see. This one. Yeah, this is the question. Can master consist of? So, yeah. So yes, the answer is, yeah, the answer to that is B. Right? This is the correct answer. Okay, so well, master here is the admin node or the name node. See, the thing is that the way to you have to look at this question this way, that first option is incorrect because name node has to be there, right? A job, it is not possible that the master name node does not contain the name node. So first option is gone. Now this one also is gone because the name node has to be there, right? So this option also gone, right? Name node and data node, yeah, cannot be there. Okay, you need to have the job tracker as well. Yeah, and if there is a data node, the task tracker should be there on the same node, right? Name node and uh, name node and job tracker can still run at different places, but data node and the task tracker should be in the same one. Okay, so this is a little tricky one, so that's why this is the only option. So you understand, everyone understands why this is a wrong answer. You know that, do you know that data node and task tracker should be on the same system, right? And it is possible to have name node and job tracker on different ones, right? So there, does this help? Anup, you are also clear on this. Shyam, how about you? Great. Okay, thanks. Okay, so let's get back to the class then and see what we have in store. There was a question, Vinayak says, which interface needs to be implemented to create mapper for Hadoop? Okay. Vijay, yes. So Vijay is asking, name node and job tracker can be on different nodes? Yes, Vijay, that is possible. Okay. Yes, we have not discussed that. We will be discussing that in the next class. Vinayak. Vinayak is a question. There was a question, which interface needs to be implemented to create mapper for Hadoop? Well, the answer to that is mapper only, but what I want is, yeah. So, okay, but we will be discussing that just to give you, see, sometimes we'll put questions which are not in the scope of the class also, right? So that you get this thing in your mind, and next time when you come to the class, that inquisitiveness remains there. Okay. Okay, so Anup is asking a question which is a good question actually. Which is the ideal situation, whether the name node and job tracker in same or in one system? Well, ideally, if you put it on different system, then it will help because you will be able to remove the load from the name node. Okay. So they can still run in different systems. Okay. Fair, Anup? Okay. Great. So let's see. Rahul is also back in the class. Okay. Yeah, Rahul, welcome back. So Rahul, I just want quickly, Amit and Rahul both who have just recently joined. Uh, okay, guys, why are people coming so late in the class? Vikas is joining now. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, so what I want you to do is quickly have the setup with you. Okay, the CDH3 setup, open it or use the putty to, yeah. Amit, you were in the class last time? Did you join the course today only? I mean, last time actually we had discussed, right, that we'll be doing hands-on today. Okay, okay, no problem. So Amit, what I want you to do is that take access from the support team. You can, yeah, I think we are looking at a lot of time here. Okay, wait, let me show you. You have access to the cluster. You have the access to. You have access to our LMS. Use remote login using putty to get started. Okay, so we'll be doing hands-on today. Okay, so now guys, okay, so you can get started, and please guys, just to one request to all of you, if you can join the class in time, then that really helps. Okay, because otherwise, and we'll have to the other people who have joined in advance are end up wasting their time. Okay, so please make sure from the next time, please try to join the class on time. Okay, yeah, and thank you. So let's get started and let's see how what we're going to do today. Thank you. Basically, so today is our hands-on session, and we are going to look at things really on the cluster itself. So that's why I asked everyone to set up that. Now that so before we get started, we need to understand that there are three modes in which you can run Hadoop. Okay, so Hadoop can be run in three modes. Okay, so one is this standalone or local mode, which means there are no daemons, everything runs on a single JVM. Okay, now this mode is usually not be used by anywhere but for your by developers to run their MapReduce programs. Okay, so while you're writing MapReduce, you want to test out things. This is really that local environment where you will set up things and do the things. Okay, now then there is a pseudo distributed mode. Okay, which we will be using on a single machine. All the Hadoop daemons run. Okay, now this is as good as a full cluster of machines to look at everything which is running, right? So everything will be running. You will be able to easily do all the it is not a production mode, but it is still good enough for any kind of training or any kind of learning Hadoop in that sense, right? I mean, if you want to learn something, this is a good enough thing. It has all the things which are there in the fully distributed mode. Then the fully distributed mode is the Hadoop daemons running on a cluster of machines. So you understand the difference between standalone and pseudo distributed. Standalone will not have any daemons. In our case, we'll have all the daemons running, and let's see how it looks like. So let's go to all of you. I want all of you to actually go to the Cloudera VM. Okay, and for folks who are logging in from Putty, I want them to go there. CD into this directory here. This one. Is everyone into their? Abhishek, daemon is like a service in Windows, right? A process. Name node, job tracker, task tracker, all are daemons. Okay. Now everyone log in into their Hadoop cluster either through Putty. If someone is looking from Putty side, it will look like this. Okay. Let me just arrange these windows a bit so that I can show you here. Okay, so whoever is looking it from Putty will be looking at this. So you have to go into this directory, user lib Hadoop 0.20/conf. And if you're in Putty, you have to get into the conf directory here, okay, and do a ls, okay. So let me show you what all is there. This is the configuration directory. Is everyone there? Okay, so quickly confirm it in the chat window. Well, after logging in, Hari, once you've logged in into a Cloudera VM, Vijay, if you are on CDH4, you might get that. But if you, are you on Putty or where are you? Hari, you can using Putty. Okay, so using Putty, you have to go into this directory. Yeah, so if you're in Cloudera VM, I mean CDH4 is the Gen 2 Hadoop. We will be using the Gen 1 Hadoop because that is used in the all the normal places in production. Everyone that will be used is use CDH3. It is Cloudera distribution of Hadoop 3 version 3. Okay. Now this is where I want you to, yeah, if you have Cloudera, yeah, 0.37, that's right. So you're in the right place. Okay, if you're in Cloudera, you have to, yes, Abhishek. So you have to get into this directory here. People who are in Cloudera, quickly look at this. This is the place you have to get into. Okay, people who are in Putty need to get into this place. Home, Ubuntu, Hadoop. Vijay, this is the place you have to get into. So if I keep them side by side, this is how it will look like. So Cloudera VM people folks will be here and the Ubuntu folks will be here. The Putty folks will be here, right? So is everyone then in there now? Once you are in, just quickly confirm. Great. So Abhishek says yes. Vinayak is also there. No problem, Vinayak. You can be in Putty or either place. That's fine. Okay. Anyone who is not there yet and wants me to, yeah, hi Anu, please tell me. See, I think from next class what we'll do is that we'll make this thing one of the prerequisites before joining the class that everyone has get the setup done. So support team folks, like please, okay. Anu, please contact the support team. They'll tell you how to log in. Okay, you can contact them on Skype right now. There'll be someone there. Okay. No, CD will be working, CD, and you have to do this on Putty. If you're on Putty, you have to do this. CD into this directory. No, it will work here. CD/home. You have to give front slash. Okay. So I assume everyone is in. Let's get started. Let me show you a few things here. Okay. Now this is the directory where all the configuration files are there. Okay. So most of the configuration files we'll be looking at today. I don't know if Rajiv is on Skype. There will be someone on Skype definitely. Guys, who is on Skype here from the support team, whoever is listening in, please respond back to me on the chat window. Who is on Skype? I think Hisham is there. Hisham is there on Skype. Please, guys. Yeah, you have to put the front slash. Front slash means the first. Okay. So now, if you look at this thing, the first thing which I want you to do is run this command. Okay, everyone, whether it is on VM or here, run Hadoop. Okay. Please write Hadoop and run it and see what does it show. So Hadoop is the command, is the first basic command which we have to understand. Okay. Okay, and it will show you all these things. So you don't need to understand everything right now. We'll run this, but it is this command is the primary command, the most important command, which says the first thing is if I say Hadoop name node minus format, it will format the DFS file system completely. Secondary name node, it will start the secondary name node. If I say name node, it will start the name node. It will say data node, this will start the data node. Okay. So this is the command which will be used to do all these things. Just a second, if there's someone from Skype. Yeah, can you please log out of this? Just a minute. I'll sign off from Skype here. Yeah. So, no, if you write Hadoop, it will not say command not found. Just write Hadoop. Okay, so probably if you go to this, you do a CD, I think we need to set up this path variable also for everyone. Okay, so see, Rahul, probably the problem there in your system is that the path is not properly set. That's why it's not able to find the Hadoop command. So if I do a which Hadoop, okay, this is the Hadoop, this is where the Hadoop command is found. Okay, and it should be in your path. So if I do, okay, if I do a echo dollar path, it should be there. So this, since it is here in my path variable, from anywhere if I look at it, I'll be able to find it. So if in your path variable it is not there in one of the VMs, okay, then there will be a problem. But nevertheless, you can go to this place and just do this. Okay. Okay, so great. So the command is Hadoop. Okay, and to set up path, see, setting up path, you have to do export. Okay, for people who are not from the Linux background, I think what you should also do a little bit is before the class, just to we have a small setup document there in Linux, right, where you need to practice a few things there. So export path equal to and whatever path you want to give. Okay, so path variable is the variable which the system will look at whenever you are about to run a command. It will look whether to find in all those places where you have specified the path. If it is found, it will be able to get that. So now, is everyone able to run the Hadoop command? And whoever has run the Hadoop command, I want them to actually look at the options here. Okay, not all options are important right now. Okay, is everyone able to run that? But just want to give you a quick feel of what it is. Okay, now once you have run this command, next thing which you need to do is just do a cat of, there is a readme file here, right? Everyone sees the readme file there. Now it will not be in putty, it will be in Cloudera VM only, so it's not important. I just want to show you what does this readme say. Okay, so it says that this is a pseudo, what is a pseudo distributed cluster according to Cloudera? Okay, a pseudo distributed cluster is one on which all the Hadoop daemons run separately but on a single node. This is good mode for developers to install on their machines to ensure that all their jobs will operate correctly on a real cluster. So this is a very, very important thing to understand. Is everyone able to see this? Not in their machines, but in here in my thing. Can I get a quick yes from everyone if everyone is able to hear this and understand this? Okay, so what this means is that Cloudera certifies that this is a good mode for developers to install on their own machines to ensure that their jobs will run correctly on a real cluster. So whatever you do here, the same job can be exported on a real cluster and it is going to work properly. Okay, so from a developer side, there's no need to run things on the multi-cluster. A lot of times people come to me and ask me, you are not showing things on multi-cluster. Okay. Yeah, Hari, readme, Unix is actually case sensitive, so you have to write capitals. Everything should be in capitals. and cat also, cat is in small. Okay. Okay, so Rahul, I don't want you to change anything on the putty side on for setting the path. Okay, because it will change, it's everyone's thing. Don't tinker with that. Okay, if you need help, you can get in touch with the support team later on. If you because a lot of people will be given access to this system only. So if you change things like path and all, that will really disrupt things for everyone. For now, if you're not able to do it in after the class, please do these things, practice these things at your end using this Cloudera CDS3. Okay. Now, so basically this clarifies with everyone that you really do not, from a developer angle, you do not really need a multi-node cluster. There's nothing which can not be done on a pseudo distributed mode cluster from a developer side. Okay. Hari, are you in the conf directory here? And are you on Putty or on you are on Cloudera? If you're on Cloudera, then you should see this file. If you're not able to see it, no problem. No, you have to be in conf, right? You have to in this directory. This is the directory where this file is located. So go into that directory and then do a cat readme. Okay, this path is this here. Look at this path here. Okay, so this is the place you have to look at. Okay, so the reason I wanted to open this and show it to you, because so that your doubt is clarified that there is nothing which you cannot do here. Whatever jobs you run, whatever MapReduce programs you will be doing in the class, they can be. Yeah, but Amit, I do not want. Yes, that is correct, but no, but that's not the right path. Are you in Cloudera, Amit? Yeah, yes, then you don't have to export, it is already set there. That path is already set there. You will be able to see everything there. Okay, but that's the right command to set up any environment variable in Unix. Okay, especially in the K shell. Okay. Okay, so export is the command. There are some places, some shells where there'll be setenv there, will be there, but here it's okay. Now, yes, you can do that. Yeah, so Rahul, for you, what you have to do is go to people who are in the putty and not able to run the commands. What you need to do is go to this directory, go to the home. Okay, from here you can run it. And I'll tell you from where to run. Okay, so is that fine? Okay, great. So now that we've seen this, we know that everything can be done on a pseudo distributed cluster. Any program which you run, we will be writing a lot of MapReduce programs in the next few classes. If you test them here, they'll run exactly the same way on a real cluster. Is that clear with everyone? Can I quickly get a yes on that? Right. So don't fall for this if someone tells you, yeah, you have not done anything on multi-node cluster. There's no difference. Okay. If you're looking it from a developer angle, from an architect angle, everything is same. If you're looking as an admin, system admin, yes, you have to set up the multi-node cluster, but that is not really required for a, it's good to know for a developer, but not really a mandatory thing for a developer. Okay. Great. So now let's proceed further and let's see, go back to the conf directory, everyone. Okay, and let's see what is there in our next file. Okay, so we've already run this. What I want you to do now is to look at the distributed file system. Okay, so we've already seen the DFS all the time. We've been talking about DFS. Okay, so I want you to actually go to the home and do a Hadoop DFS minus ls. Sorry. Wait. Sorry, not minus DFS, Hadoop DFS minus ls. Now, yeah. So this is going to this command. Can everyone run this command? Rahul, can you come online on Skype, and someone from the support team is going to help you out with that. Okay, you can get in touch with them. They'll help you out in seeing what is the problem at your end. Okay, one-on-one there'll be someone available. I think Hisham is available right now. Okay, yeah. Meanwhile, everyone else, can you run this command Hadoop DFS minus ls and give a front slash. So this front slash means root. Okay, has everyone done that? So this, what does this show? This shows you, this lists down the distributed file system. If I do a ls here, which will list down the local Unix file system, this is the Unix file system which we have here on this place, and the other one is the Hadoop DFS. So when we, in the last class, okay, front slash Vinayak means root. It signifies the root directory. Okay. So when in the last class we were talking about that you have to move files from a local file system into the DFS, right? This is what it means. So this is the distributed file system. Okay. And the other one, if I do a plain ls here, ls root, this will show me this is my local file system. Is this clear to everyone? This is very important to get understand this. The difference between the local file system and a distributed file system. Yeah, that is fine. That is fine, Satyam. That's cool. If you're getting 3 files, two from you, one from MR, don't have to worry about that. That's fine. That is what the DFS is. You can also verify looking at this, right? There'll be something different at your end because we would have done more things here. Yes. So Hari is saying, even though I type the same command, I'm not getting your output. Well, my output will be slightly different because in my system there will be more commands which have more things are there in the DFS. Okay. While in your system there will be lesser things, right? I have created a weather data output here, okay, which I have put in the DFS. So it's just that your directory contains more things, my directory contains more things, that's why you're getting a different thing. Is that clear, Hari? Is that fine? Everyone? So everyone is able to, Amit, you're able to run this command? Hadoop DFS minus ls. So now, as we saw last time also, probably I told you as well, that it is very, very similar. The Hadoop distributed file system looks very, very similar to Unix. But it is definitely different because, I mean, see, if you look at ls here, ls root, these are the files which are here. If I do a Hadoop DFS minus ls, these are the files here. So now this also list, there's one more difference. It looks like more like a ls minus l. Okay, so this is my local file system when I do a ls minus l root. Okay, so this is what is found in my root. Okay, in my Unix file system, local file system on this. Now which means on Ubuntu, this is what I have. When I do a Hadoop DFS minus ls and root, what I get here is whatever is there in my Hadoop distributed file system. Now my Hadoop distributed file system is actually sitting on my Ubuntu file system. Okay, is that concept clear to everyone? We discussed that in theory last week, in concept level last week. Now we've seen it in practice. Can I quickly get a yes, Vinayak and everyone? Is that clear to everyone, guys? Yes, Hadoop will be sitting over the Ubuntu file system. Ubuntu is the underlying operating system. Great. So Abhishek and everyone, can I quickly get a yes or a smiley if everyone is clear with this? If Ubuntu is correct, everything will go for a toss here. It cannot go corrupt. If Ubuntu goes wrong, then either the data node, if it is on the data node, it will go away. If it goes wrong on the name node, it will go away. Okay, great. So I have got an answer from everyone. So now we know what is the difference and how does the difference look like in a real life situation on Hadoop as well as on underlying operating system like Linux or Ubuntu. Okay, let's see what is there next. Now let me show you how does an actual MapReduce program look like. Okay, now I know we have not discussed MapReduce till now, but the important thing is that anything which will be done on a data node will be done through a MapReduce. That is clear to everyone? And let me show you a command which will show me what all is there. So I'll run a command called Hadoop jar. Yeah, I'll show you one of the example jars. Jar is a Java archive. So whenever we have to run a job, this is how, yeah. So basically if you look at this command, the command which I just ran, the command is here. I want everyone to actually run this command. And this command will not be run in putty, because this is one of the set of examples which Cloudera has given us. Okay, so this will not be run in putty. So yeah, okay. So in putty you have to run this command. The path will be slightly different. Okay, for people on putty they have to run this command, Hadoop examples 1220.jr jar, and here you have the people in Cloudera have to run this and also observe the output. Has everyone run this? Everyone needs to run this. Anup, Hari, Satyam, Hamid, Abhishek. Yeah, a quick confirmation will really be appreciated. Okay, so if you're getting an error, you may not be in the right path. You may be giving something wrong in the path. Okay, so what I'll also do, I'll write this in the chat window and I'll send the commands in the chat window to everyone. I'll broadcast this to everyone. So let me just give me 1 second. I'm writing it. The first one is for Cloudera. Yeah. So this is for Cloudera, and for the people who are in the putty environment. The people who are in the putty environment, there is the command. So can I quickly get a confirmation from everyone if they've run this command? And while if you've not run it, that's also fine. The reason I'm showing you it to you here is that, okay, so some of these things, right? This is aggregated word count or a DB count, or aggregate word hist. All these are MapReduce programs, okay, which are shipped in this jar, okay. So these are MapReduce programs which are shipped in this jar, okay. So I just wanted to show you that this is how actually, as a developer, when you will be writing your MapReduce programs, this is how you will be shipping them across to your customers, okay, in a jar file, and this is how they'll look like. So these are different MapReduce programs which Cloudera has created and given to you, okay, right? Is that clear with everyone? Yes, you can paste it, the first one in Cloudera and the second one in there. Okay, okay. So is everyone there with me? I mean, can I quickly get a yes from everyone? If everyone is in the same, on the same page. Anyone who's facing trouble can get in touch one-on-one with the support team, but others, please make sure that you give me a quick yes. I've just got 3 yeses, so I don't know if we are just moving ahead without having enough people. Okay. This command is for just showing whatever is there in the jar. Okay. It is not running the MapReduce program. We will run that as well. This just shows that whatever is there in that particular jar file. Okay, Amit. So Amit is asking a question, what is the purpose of this command? The purpose of this command is to show whatever is there in the Java archive for containing, so whatever classes are there, whatever programs are there, Java programs are there, this jar file just lists them down. Okay, Abhishek. So Abhishek, what problem are you facing? Yeah, Amit, I think the list of commands are already shared in the LMS. So I think you should go through the LMS links. All these commands are shared there as well, right? So Hari, get in touch with the support team. Okay. Okay, guys. One very important thing. I mean, it's okay for today, but very important thing which I want everyone to actually look at is that from now on these classes will involve a lot of hands-on. Okay. So unless and until you are a little prepared for them, right, it will cause a lot of trouble. You will not be able to understand things as well properly. So today I will send you a recommended reading and a recommended setup before the next class. Okay, when we go into MapReduce. Okay. And I want everyone to spend some time. It will not require more than half an hour or 1 hour's time. Okay. And I want everyone to actually spend that much time before the next class. Okay. Otherwise what will happen is either you will not be able to figure out anything, or the people who have already done that will think that my complete time was wasted. Okay. And I really apologize to everyone else who had actually done the setup for actually going a little slow today. Okay. So guys, everyone who is there in the class, can you please promise me that next time you'll come a little prepared for this? Can I quickly get a yes from everyone? I mean, you just need half an hour's time. Okay, not more than that. If you can spend some half an hour's time, you can send me an email. My email ID is abhishek@edureka.in. Okay, I'll just write it here. And if you are needing any help from the support team, and if you're not getting it on time, it is my batch, it is under my ownership, that's my responsibility. I've just written my email ID to everyone. Then send me an email that, okay, at this point of time, I need someone from the support team to help me out. I'll make sure that we schedule a call for you at that time. Okay, that's my responsibility then. Okay, is that fine, guys? But, and sometimes, see, the best way to take support is to have a scheduled call beforehand, because sometimes they'll be overwhelmed with a lot of people coming in parallel. Right now, for example, there'll be a lot of requests coming in parallel, right? So next time, please make sure that we have everyone has the setup ready, whatever is required for the next class. I'll send you that in an email also today, what all you need to do after the session. In a couple of hours, I'll send that. And I want everyone to acknowledge back on that email saying that, yes, I will do it. Okay, is that fine, everyone? Can I quickly get a yes? Has everyone understood what I just said? Okay. I have not got a yes from everyone, so I'm assuming that yes, Satyam, so we have kept a document. Satyam is asking if you can help on Hadoop Linux commands. So what I'm saying is that there is a document already there in the LMS which actually lists down these commands. Okay. And I'll try to see if I can show it to you right. Okay. So at the end of the installation guide, there's a link. In the installation guide itself, there's a link which shows you the list of commands. Okay. So what we can also do is we'll put it separately. Support team, can you please do that in the installation itself? You just create a separate section, some Linux things, right, and put it there. Okay, so that everyone can practice that. Okay. Is that fine, everyone? So yeah, let's go back. Yeah, so Amit has sent us a link. Yeah, this is the exact link, right? Yeah. So I think so we'll just broadcast this link on the chat window as well right away. Okay, which you can. Yeah. So the support team is going to send you that. So please do that. Okay. And from next time onwards, just make sure that we come a little prepared in the class so that we can maximize this time. Okay, great. So let's move ahead. So now what we've just seen is an example of how the MapReduce is shipped. Okay, how a jar file is shipped along with Hadoop. Okay, so people from the Java background know that when you are shipping something to a client, you will be shipping that in a Java archive or a jar file. So this is what it is. Okay, now next thing which we're going to do is we're going to look at some other interesting things. Now if we've seen this, we'll be also be running a MapReduce program to show you how things actually work. Okay, before that, I want every one of you, whoever is in Cloudera, to look at this URL. Just give me 1 second. Whoever is in Cloudera, to open this link. Okay, for the people who are in Putty, they have to replace localhost with their IP. Okay, and can you just show it here? Yeah. So basically, this is the IP which you have to replace with. Okay, for people who are server 1, for people in server 2, this is the IP you have to replace with. So this is set up on the Amazon AWS. So this is the path which you have to use instead of localhost. Okay, and if you're seeing that, don't worry. I mean, it's not mandatory for you to actually do that right away. I just want to show you that there is also a way through which you can actually browse your file system, the DFS, in this fashion. Okay, so whoever is there here can quickly look at this in this link, look at the browse the file system, and you can quickly browse the file system here. So everything which you are seeing here is shown here as well. So okay, so this is where we have this. There's a file called student. You can open it here. Okay, the log directory. So the Cloudera distribution gives you this flexibility as well. Okay, so that from the browser itself you can look at things. There are a lot of other things also. It also gives you a summary of the cluster. So this is the configured capacity. This is how much the DFS is used. This is the amount of DFS which is empty. Okay, non-DFS used things basically, and this is the DFS which is remaining. Okay, live nodes, number of live nodes is 1. Okay, number of unreplicated blocks is 3 here. So just a second, let me just open the chat. Where is the chat window? We lost the chat window. Okay, so is everyone able to see this one? And you can just try it out at your end, that if you're able to. And this is the storage directory. This is the place where we are actually storing everything. Okay, so there are quite a few insights which you can get from here. Okay, similarly, the PPT you already have with you in your LMS. So this is the second one. So the one which we saw just now shows the name node status. The other thing shows the job tracker status. So once we are running the job tracker, we'll be just running the job tracker as well, and I'll show you how things change there. Okay, so this is again, this gives you some insight about into the job tracker. So it will also show you which are the running jobs right now, completed jobs. These are the jobs which are completed. There's no running job, retired jobs. All this job information on the job tracker will be available here. So whatever I've run here it gets logged in here. Okay, is that fine, everyone? Are you with me? Is everyone with me on this? Not getting any responses. Vinayak, Abhishek. Great. Abhishek, are you with me? Yeah, Amit, you have a question, please ask me. Thanks, Shyam. Uh, Abhishek, it is not 300, it is 30 only. The localhost colon 50030 and not 300. What you have written is 300. That's why it is not working. Is that okay, Abhishek? So this is the path. No, it's not 390. Not 300. 530. And you are on Cloudera, Abhishek? Okay. Can you just quickly get into the get in touch with the support team? They'll help you out with that. Okay. There's someone online there. They're on Skype. Show them your screen and these people can tell you. Anyways, this is not something which is very urgent. Okay. Yes. Obviously, you have to be inside the VMware browser. Okay, guys, you don't have to be. This cannot run on your Chrome. You have to be in the VMware, right? That's where this is the local host, right? Okay. Yes. So then it will run. Okay. Fine. So let's proceed. So till now, what we've seen is we looked at how to get a remote access. We also looked at the conf directory, right? We looked at the Hadoop command, which is the basic command. We looked at what are the various options in the Hadoop command. Then we also went and saw how does a DFS, the distributed file system, look like, the directory structure there. How is it different from a local file system? We also saw the README file in Cloudera, which clearly stated that this is a good enough thing for any thing which you want to do on as a developer. The same thing, whatever you do here will run on a multi-node cluster as well. Okay. Is everyone clear with whatever you've discussed till now, all these points which I just said? Great. Can I quickly get a yes from everyone so that I can proceed further knowing that everyone is clear on this point? Hari, what is theoretical here? We've seen all these things, right? We saw the configuration directory, we ran the Hadoop command. We also showed you that Hadoop DFS ls. Okay, so Hadoop, sorry, Hari, if you're in the Indranagar office, then as you told me in the beginning, you can just ask someone on the support team to actually show it to you there itself. Okay, so default one node running is the name node right now. Okay. Okay. Now let's move a little further and do some real commands here. Try out a few real commands here. Okay. So let's see what is the next thing. Now there are other links as well which you can look at, but there's no point in looking at them while we are unless and until we are running something. So once we run a bigger program, yes. So Abhishek, Abhishek is asking, will you explain in detail what we saw in some later class? Well, Abhishek, whatever I have shown you till now is something which is only this much. Now we will but how to create a jar, how to run these jobs, all this will be covered again in the MapReduce class. Okay. So these basic commands are not something which we are going to cover again, but we will be keep on using these commands in all our classes further. Okay. So this is one class where I want all of you to dirty your hands with the Hadoop cluster. Okay. And then next on, I mean, see, right now we have not studied MapReduce, but we'll still be running a MapReduce job just to see how it runs. Next class, when we go into MapReduce, you'll be running an actual MapReduce program which you would have created. Is that fine, everyone? Okay. Now let's see. Let's try to run. This is what we ran just now. We just saw whatever is there. Just a second. Okay. Yeah. So sorry for the break. I'll just okay. So next thing which we're going to do is actually run a small program. Okay. So I want you to actually run this command. Okay. Hadoop jar, the same thing, and then one of the programs which was there in our distribution, let me just show you once again. So one of the programs which was there in our distribution was this. There was a TerraGen program. It generates a lot of data for TerraSort. Okay, you don't have to worry about what TerraSort is or what TerraGen is for now. What I want you to do is actually see how a actual MapReduce program is run in a real life situation. So after writing that Hadoop jar, what you have to do is, everyone can do it with me. Write TerraGen after that. Okay. Then we have to give a parameter which shows what is the size of the data we want to generate. And then we'll also give the path where we want to. Yeah. So then we will. Right. So everyone please type this here. And let's see what happens. I want everyone to try this out. Okay. So what is it doing? It is finished, right? So what did it do? It said, let's look at each of these things one by one and understand what does this mean. So Hadoop jar examples.jar means that use this jar file. From this jar file, we have to run this particular program, TerraGen program, and this is one of the arguments of that program which denotes what is the size of the data I want to generate. Okay, and then we provide a output path on the DFS. Now this output is not being dumped on a local directory, it will be dumped on the distributed file system only. Okay, and this is the path where we want to dump it. Now let's see what happened here. Don't have to understand whole thing because it is not important. See, it created two maps with a step of 5,000. So we specified that. Yeah, so this is what I did just now, Amit. So this command, Amit is asking me to explain the command. Okay, so the command here is Hadoop jar and the archive where this jar is. Okay, and then the program from this jar which I want to run, which is TerraGen, and then 10,000 means the argument which has to go with TerraGen program, and this is the output path where I want to dump the output of this program. Is that clear now, Amit? Guys, is this clear with everyone? See, I want a little bit more interaction in the class because I need to know if you guys are able to do this. Now, I want everyone to run this program. If everyone has understood it. If anyone is facing a problem, just let me know. Abhishek, Shyam, everyone is able to run this program? Vinayak? Great. Satyam, great. Okay. Yeah. Shyam, what is the problem you are facing? You are in Putty? Sure, thanks. So yeah, I think what we can do is, if you guys are not able to do something, you can get in touch with the support team. This part is something which the support team can very well tell you everything. Okay. So now just try to focus here what I'm doing, and whoever is able to do it with me, well and good. If you're not able to do it with me, get in touch with the support team. They'll help you out. Okay. After the class, you can do that. For now let's run. Let's see what happened since the last time when we ran this program. Okay, let's go and look at the output of this program first. Let's go into our DFS and see if we can see the output. As I told you, you can browse the file system from here. Now, this is the output directory which we just created. So these are the two parts of the files which we created. Okay, So part 0 and part 1, this is the kind of data which it generated. It is just a random data. Don't have to worry about that, but this is how it actually comes out. Okay. So it created 2 maps and it created 2 data out of it. Okay. Now what are these maps? Just want to, don't want to get into details of that this time. Next time when we come to the map reduce session, we will be discussing in detail. This time the purpose of this was just to understand how to run a map reduce program in your virtual machine, in your Hadoop cluster. This is the purpose of this program. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we are going to run this. Now this program was run with a small data set and we are not able to see a lot of things there. What we're going to do now is we're going to run this, and I don't want people who are on the putty to run this. Okay. I'll add one more 0. Okay. And one more 0 here, so that I generate a big output. And the purpose here is that while we doing this, we'll see what is happening on our job tracker and task tracker. Okay, so let me run this program. Yeah. And generate output in a different place. So while this is running, this will run for a long time. Now it is showing map 0, reduce 0. Let's see what is happening on our browser here. Let's look at the name node status. So if you see, it's running right now, and it is the number of files and directories in the cluster are also increasing. Okay. So this also ran and completed. Let's run a even bigger program. Let's add a few more zeros there. Okay. I mean, the beauty is that it runs very fast. So now if we see this here, and if we refresh this place, our status, if you just saw that for 137 files it became this much, it is also showing you the map, 2% map is completed. Let's go here, let's see what is happening here. So it is saying this much DFS is used, DFS remaining is this much. So this is the place from where you can get the overall things. Okay. Now what are these things actually doing is something which we'll come to know as when we write our own map reduce programs. We'll be looking at this in more detail. So it's currently showing there are 2 running map jobs. Okay, 2 map slots are occupied. So what is the map? Next time when we come to know, we'll be coming to know. Now if you look at this is a running job. It shows you the complete status. Is everyone able to follow this? That this is the right now completion here. This is the priority of the job right now. This is the job ID. Okay, we can always change the priorities as well. Okay, and the reduce has not yet started. It is right now in the map phase. When we run our own map reduce programs, this will start making much more sense. Okay, right now just you can look at this. Okay, now let's look at So if you go to this place, this will show you the task tracker status. Okay, so now it is showing that there are 2 tasks, 2 maps which are running on the task tracker. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, so map 0 and map 1 are running on the task tracker, and this is their progress. Okay, is this making sense to everyone? Can I quickly get a yes? I want you to, when you go back, run this program and try out these options there. Try to understand what are these different options. Okay. So it is 31% completed. While it is getting completed, let's look at. We've looked at the task tracker status. If we refresh this, you'll see that the completion has improved there. Okay. Okay. There's the name node status. So it will tell you how many live nodes are there, how many dead nodes are there. These are unreplicated blocks. Now these things you'll come to know in the next class. Okay. Right. If you want to browse the system, if you see there were 150 files there, let's see how many. There are 154 files now. Okay. So it keeps all this status check and the health check is done, can be monitored like this in an actual cluster as well. Okay. Is that fine, everyone? Great. Abhishek, were you able to run this? Or were you able to follow this? You can run this later after the class as well, but were you able to, was everyone able to follow this, whatever I showed you right now? Great. So No problem. So Abhishek, you can run it later. You can take the help from the support team. They'll tell you. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So now let's do one more thing. Let's go ahead and look at. Let's go ahead and look at the output of this program. Okay. And see how do we get that output out of HDFS. Okay. So that's the next step. We saw the output in the browser file system. Let's see how do we do that in a real system there. Okay. Let's go back to our virtual machine. Let's look at it here. Okay. So now as we saw, right, this guy had generated something out of it. So let's see if we are able to. So you remember this command where we do Hadoop DFS ls. We get the list of places where we are. Now these are the TerraGen output 2. These are the things which we just ran. Okay. Now let's do a Hadoop DFS ls and see this directory in the distributed file system, Hadoop file system. Okay. So this is the output of the command which we just ran, the first one which we just ran, right? Now to get this back into our local file system, this is the command which we will be running. Okay. Yeah, you need to do a sudo in case you are not able, you do not have permissions there. But Hadoop DFS is the command, -get is the command to get any file back from the DFS into the local file system. And that's what we did just now. So it will ask you for the password. You can give the password. Sudo is the command to log in as a different user, so that you have the permission to do that. Okay. Now if you see it here, from the, we got that file. If you look at that, right now, wait. So let me show you that. So this was the path of the file in the DFS, right? And when we ran that command, this file came in our local file system. In our local file system, if we do ls, we will find it here. So if I do a cat of this file, we will find the same file, right? So now you understand how to get a file back from DFS into a local file system. Yes, this is the purpose of this get command. Yeah, is this clear, everyone? Can everyone quickly respond back? Then I'll show you how to put a file from our local file system into DFS. So a lot of people had that question last time in the class when we were looking at the concept level. How do we move files from a local file system to a DFS? So that is the next thing which we are going to do. Okay. So let's see how to put a file from our local file system to a So let me just create a new file. So you can use gedit or you can use vi, whatever you want to do, you can use there to create a file, or you can just touch a file as well. So this is testing a file, is the file which is there in our local file system, right? Now let's move it into the Hadoop DFS. So the command changes to put. Yeah, let's put it in the root itself, just for testing. We'll remove it there. So you saw that this file has been moved into DFS. And this is the command to look at a file in the DFS. The cat command changes to Hadoop DFS -cat. So most of the Unix command will transform into the HDFS command by just adding HDFS DFS minus. So the thing which is not highlighted is a Unix command. The after adding Hadoop DFS minus in front of that, it becomes the Hadoop file command. Yes, you can stop running the task. Okay, Vinayak, can you please tell me what Vinayak is asking me? Can you explain this once again? To stop a program, you can just do a Control C there, Satyam. It will stop. Okay. Yeah, I'm writing the. So Amit is asking, can you write the get command? So the get command is Hadoop DFS minus get, and the path from where you want to get the command, get the file, to the path, to the local path. Okay. So this is the path from where you want to get the file from the DFS, and this is the path where you want to put the file in the DFS, in the local file system. Is that fine, Amit? Is that fine, Vinayak? You also wanted to understand this? Can I quickly get a yes from both of you? Vinayak, can you post the error which you are getting there? I can help you out with that. Copy and paste that error in the chat window. I'll help. The local path has to be given some local path, not this way. This is just a representation. Okay, so local path could be root also, it can be dot also, whatever is the current local path. So Vinayak, are you in the Cloudera VM or you are in the Putty? And can you also paste the command which you wrote? Can you paste the command? Can you do a PWD first and tell me where you are? 1. Can you do a PWD? 1. Great. And then you tell me the command which you are using. The command which you ran there. Everyone else also can you just try this and see if you are able to move a file. The purpose is now to move a file from HDFS back to our local file system. That's the first exercise. So I want everyone to try that out. Whoever has been able to do that can write a yes on the chat window. And then they can go to okay, just a minute, Vinayak. So, and then you can, the other people can go to moving one file from the local file system to the DFS. So that's the second thing you can do. Okay, Vinayak, you have not specified the local path into which we have to get that file. What Vinayak you have specified is sudo Hadoop DFS. The path from the DFS you have specified. You have to specify a local path as well, from where to get this file. What is the destination? You've specified that. So there are two inputs to this, guys. One is the source folder and the other one is the destination path. Okay, so everyone has been able to do this. So if you are in home Cloudera, please try running this command. Before that, just check that this path exists in your this thing. If you've run that program. So to know whether a thing exists or not, how will you know that? We'll do a Hadoop DFS ls and see whether this file exists in that DFS file system or not. So if it doesn't exist, then you cannot copy back. If it exists, so first do a DFS ls It will show you that this file exists. Now you have to do a copy of this file from DFS back to our local system. Okay, great. Yeah, Amit, what are you not able to see? Others, guys, everyone, I want answers from everyone. Other than the people who are not able to follow because they do not have the VM there, or the VM is not working for some reason. Others, can you please confirm, Dayanand and all who are running this program? Rahul, Vijay, how about you? Satyam, Anup. What are the problems you guys see? These are important things. You have to try them out. Okay. You are in Putty, it is not working for you. Because did you try doing the Hadoop DFS minus LS? Yeah, file directory is missing because that you did not run the Terragen program to run that. So what you can do is that, yeah. So what you can do is that you pick any other file from whatever file is there. Do a Hadoop DFS LS and do a just do a Hadoop DFS LS first. Okay, Satyam. Yeah. Low space. You ran a big program. Okay. You can do a cleanup there. Okay. So Vijay, what we can do is you can remove. You can do a Hadoop DFS minus RMR. I'll show you that command. If someone wants to delete something from the DFS, so if I have to remove all these Terragen data from my DFS, I'll just run this command. Okay, so it deletes everything from the DFS. Okay, so that's the command to remove things from the DFS. Okay. So delete the things from the distributed file system. Now what we just saw till now is we ran a program, a Java program. Anup, how about you? You are able to run things? Okay, we run, great. So we ran a program, a big program. We dumped some output into the DFS. Then we ran a command to get that output back from the DFS into the local file system. Then we also created a file in the local file system, and we saw how to move a file across the local file system to the DFS, right? So these are the things we've been able to achieve today, right, till now, right? Great. So now let's move on. Let's see what we're going to do next. We've also seen that those files, right? So we've seen all this. Now we have some familiarity with the basics of how to run a program in DFS, how to create a file, how to remove a file as well. Now these set of commands are already there in the LMS. What I want you guys to do is try out a few more commands. Get in touch with the support team if you're facing any trouble there. Okay, you can also write back to me. I can help you out. But for the class, we'll do these many commands and move. Now, as we move forward in the course, we'll keep on using these commands in every class, right? So that practice has to be done. Okay. Now, what we'll do is we'll look at some of the important configuration files which are there in the DFS. Okay. So before that, can I quickly take a 5-minute break if you don't mind, and the guys who are still trying to run these commands can run them. Is that fine? And meanwhile, if people want to get in touch with the support team, in this 5 to 10 minute break, they can resolve their issues. I will move on to the configuration files on Hadoop after this. Is that okay, everyone? Sure, Rahul, no problem. No problem at all. You have my email ID. My ID is Hadoop Abhishek@edureka.in. Okay, support team, to get in touch with the support team, guys, the best way is to send an email to hadoop@edureka.in. Someone from the support team will respond back. Okay, they can come on Skype and help you out. Okay, now I'm taking a 10-minute break. I want to take a slightly longer break so that everyone who is left behind a little bit can actually do things there. Okay, whatever problems you're facing, whatever issues you're facing, you can either write in the chat window or you can send an email to the support team. They will help you out right away. Okay, I'll take a longer break. I'll come back in another 10-15 minutes and then we'll start on the Hadoop configuration files. Okay, so the support team is here to help you out right now. Hello. Yeah, guys. So I'm back here. If you're able to hear me, I just want to tell you one thing. I just had a discussion with Rajiv from the delivery team. Okay. So we are also going to do one more thing for you. Guys, are you able to hear me? Can I quickly get a yes from everyone so that whatever announcement I'm going to make right now goes to everyone? Okay, I've got a yes from everyone. Okay, so what I've done is I spoke to Rajiv and I was discussing how to help all of you people since a lot of you people had trouble in accessing the VM and all. So I will be again be available on Wednesday this week at 8 o'clock India time. Okay, 8 o'clock India time I'll be available in the evening. Okay, uh, whoever wants to attend that class, we'll do the same things again. Okay, that will be a repeat session. So whoever wants to attend that class, we can have the same thing there. Okay, so that by the next class we are all on the same page. Is that fine, guys? Does that help? I did not get any response. That's not required. Okay. No, not Wednesday 8 a.m. India time, Abhishek. Wednesday 8 p.m. India time. Is it bad time for you? 8 p.m. India time. Thank you. So Abhishek is saying nothing is bad for you. Thank you, Abhishek. I really appreciate that. And in case if this time doesn't work well for anyone, I can be available a little later as well. So if 9 p.m. works better for people, I can be available at 9 p.m. as well. Okay. So Wednesday is the time. I have put 8 because there are people from the US also who have joined the class, so that it's not too late for them. They'll be also going to office. So 8 is the time when I'll be available again. Uh, I'll be available for 3 hours. Okay. I don't think it will require 3 hours, but I'll be available 3 hours. So what you have to promise me before that is that everyone will be there, will be able to run a few basic commands. You will all try out a few things on the VM. You'll have the setup and everything ready. Okay, and you'll also revise whatever we are doing today in the class. Okay, and come with your right questions so that before we start the map reduce class, which is going to happen next week same time, we are all there. Okay, is that fine? So now is if so that's all I wanted to tell you. I'll go for a break for 5 minutes. Okay, you can do whatever you are doing with the support team, and I'll be back after 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, thanks. Hello. Yeah, guys. So I'm back. Let's get started now. Everyone is in? You able to hear me quickly? Yes. And let's get started with the next part of the course. I just got a single yes. Okay, great. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Now, how many of you were able to resolve the issues which you was facing in the first half of the class? Just quickly give me a yes, not resolved. Abhishek's is not resolved. So, fine. So, Abhishek, I'll do something for that. I'm just noting down who are the people. Okay, Anup is yes. So, so root directory Shyam for HDFS, I'll just show you that. I'll just show you in the practical. Let me just ask this question. Okay, no problem, Abhishek. Abhishek, I'll just take care of that. Your issue I've just noted down. I'll stay back after the class. We'll make sure that this is done. Okay. Now onwards, we don't have to do anything practically. We just need to. We'll be doing some things practically, but not really running commands. I'll show you the different property files in Hadoop today. Okay, and we'll have another session there. We'll do more extensive commands. Okay. Okay, Abhishek, other than Abhishek, is there anyone else whose problems were not resolved and who is not able to run anything on the command line? Everyone else is there? Great. So I'm assuming that everyone else's problem was resolved. Vijay's problem was not resolved. Okay. Vijay, what is the problem you are facing? You've spoken to someone on the support team? So Abhishek and Vijay are two people. Vijay, will you be able to stay back after the... Yes, Abhishek, it's already there. Abhishek is asking, can you please send a list of popular Linux commands so that we can practice? I think we've already shared a list. Okay, so if not, I'll take care of that. I'll make sure that it is put in the learning management system. I'll take care of that right away today after the class. Sure, I'll check that. I'll check that, Abhishek. I'll make sure that this is put there. Okay. Now, who is... Vijay, you can stay back after the class for some time today. Will that be possible for you? Great, great. Shyam, your problem was resolved. Satyam, you are in. Hari's problem was resolved. Okay, no problem, Vijay. So next class we'll do that. Okay, great. Great. So let's move on now, guys. It's been some time. It's getting a little late for the folks in US. Let me just get started now. So now that we've seen a little bit about how the DFS looks like, how do we move commands, how do we run a few commands, how do we run a program, a map reduce program in Hadoop. Okay, we've seen all these things. Sure, Vijay, no problem. And we've seen all those things. Now what we've also saw that this cluster is good enough to do anything. We also saw the output of the MapReduce program. Now it is important to understand some of the configuration files in Hadoop. Now these configuration files, you may say that, okay, why should I learn these? The system admin will be doing all that for me. Why should I learn this? Now I recommend, though there will be a system admin who will be looking at these files, it is very important that every developer should have some understanding of the admin side. Okay, you should not ignore this part. We'll not go into the details. We'll not go into all the configuration properties, which obviously the admins should know, but some level of properties should be known by all the people. Okay, so with that context, let's get started and let's see which are the different configuration files, which are the most important configuration files. We'll look at them, and also I will also give you a link through which anyone who's interested in knowing more details about any of these configuration files can go and look at them. Okay, so let's look at that now. So basically we know this is how a sample cluster looks like. You have a master, you have a name node and a job tracker. Now this is basically name node and job tracker, as we saw, can be run on a different things as well. But then on the slave, the data node and the task tracker will be run. Okay, each of the slave node will have the slave task tracker. Let's see what is what are the, these are some of the important configuration files. Now I've listed them down here. I'll walk you through them one by one. I'll open all these files also and show you what is there in them. But before that, let's try to understand what this file is, and while each of these files we'll talk about, the method will be, we'll talk about each of these files here, then we'll see them there in the system as well, in the cluster as well. Okay, you can also open them at your end, but you can, even if you are not able to open, you can see what is the path, and you can obviously look at them while I show you them. Okay, so the most important file is the Hadoop env.sh. Now this file is required. This is the file where all the environment variables will be set. Now the people who are not from the Linux background, environment variables are the shell environment variables. For example, the path variable, if you have to give a Java home for something, if you have to set a path for a script, for example, a Hive script or a pig script, okay. Each of these scripts will use some environment variables, and the purpose of using environment variables is very simple. I don't want to type all the paths, okay, all the time. So let me show you an example of what an environment variable is, and quickly show you what does the Hadoop env.sh look like. Okay, so okay, now, and I'll show you the purpose also. So people who are from the Linux background, I know it will be a repetition for you, but just for the sake of your other batchmates, just try to see what I'm doing. Okay, now I do a pwd. Pwd is show me the path. Now what I also want to do is that we also saw the conf directory file, right? CD, that was a long path. Conf, let's go to the conf directory. Okay, so if I go to this is the directory where all the configuration files are kept. Now if I have to, I have to remember this path all the time. So instead of that, what I can also do is I can set and do an export and create a environment variable conf is equal to okay, and then just do this. The next time when I do a echo, then to check whether it is set or not, you do a echo $conf. Now next time if I move back to my directory, next time I don't have to type that. I can just do cd $conf. Okay, so I came back into this directory, right? So Hari is saying I can't hear you. Is this the problem with everyone else as well? Whatever I explained was not able to hear? Guys, are you able to hear me? Great, thank you. So you understood what an environment variable is and how does it help, right? So now these environment variables are temporary variables in this shell. If I close this shell and come back again, this environment variable would have gone. Okay, so how do I make sure that they remain every time I log in into my system? How do I make sure? So what we do is there are some shell scripts which can be run right at the beginning of your session. Okay, so one of them is, let's open. Let's do a vi Hadoop env.sh. Okay, if I open this file, it has quite a few things there. Okay, it has some, say this is what it is also doing, the same thing which I just did, right? So instead of setting the Java home all the time, this Java home is set. Hadoop class path is set. Okay, Hadoop heap size is set here. Okay, there are a lot of other things which are set here. You don't need to understand each of these things, but just to understand that this will be this is one file where you can set all the environment variables related to Hadoop. Okay, and now the details will be, say for example, log directory will be this, Hadoop home is set there. Okay, now in this case everything here is commented out because all these environment variables are by default set in the Cloudera installation. But in the real life, if you go to a non-Cloudera distribution, then you'll have to create this file and you have to set all these variables. Okay, usually this will be done by a system administrator. So you don't have to do anything much here in this file. You just need to know if there's something goes wrong, you can just check that and see. For example, if your Java home has been set, reset to something else, you can just go and check whether it is set or not. Okay. So now VI is an editor in Hadoop, sorry, not in Hadoop, but in Unix. So if you want to learn the VI editor as well, you can use, you can search on the internet and you can learn that as well. So to edit a command, you can do that. There are other things like gedit as well, so you can use that as well. Okay. Now, so this was one file, the Hadoop pnb.sh, which is which has all the environment variables. So is this clear to everyone? What is the purpose of having this file here? If you have any questions, I can answer them right away. Guys, is this clear to everyone? Great. So Vinayak has given me a yes. Other than that, Vinayak, everyone knows how to set up an environment variable now. I just showed you this. So if I, great. So if I put this environment variable in my Hadoop pnb.sh, every time I'll be able to just do a cd conf and I'll reach the conf directory. Okay. So this is how you set up environment variable, and this is the utility of the environment variable. I have not got a yes from everyone, but I'm just assuming that everyone is with me. Okay, and I'm moving ahead. And I'll really appreciate if all of you can just give me a yes on this, so that I know that you are in with me. Okay, thank you very much, Rahul. Okay, great. Now, okay, great. Thanks much. Thanks a lot, guys. Okay, now let's move on to the next important file, which is the core site.xml file. Now, this is not an environment variable file. It is an XML file. It contains key value pairs, name value pairs of some of the important parameters which are required in Hadoop. This is the most important file. It contains the Hadoop core such as IO settings that are common to HDFS and MapReduce. Let's look at what does this actually contain. Okay, let's go to our, and this is in the conf file, so you can just do a cat is another to look at the file, cat core site.xml is present here. Okay, now this has quite a few things. The most important thing which is present here, okay, is the most important thing which is present here is the name node. What is the IP and the port number of the name node? Okay, this is the most important property. So when you are setting up your Hadoop cluster, the first thing you have to set is, where is my name node going to be located? Okay, so this is the place. In our case, it is localhost. For the people in Putty, if they look at it, it will again be localhost only because they are running from there. But if you are setting up a multi-node cluster, then this will point to what? Can someone answer that quickly? What will this point to if it is a multi-node cluster? I want an answer. Guys, quickly on the chat window. Yeah, IP address of what? Narayan. Yes, IP address of the name node. Great, very nice. Thank you very much. Yes, master as well, right. So this is the most important property you should know there. The other properties are not all that important, so we will not cover them now. We'll look at them as we proceed in our course. And I'll also show you some of the important things. I'll send you a document which will have all the details of what all is contained in the core site.xml. So the important thing to note here is core site.xml is the very, very important file which contains the name node configuration. Okay, the IP address of the name node. So you may be asked this question if you're preparing for an interview, or this may be required as well in real life, that where do you specify the name node IP address? So the answer to that is core site.xml. Okay, and it is contained in the configuration folder. Okay, in the Hadoop cluster. Cool. Now, let's look at which is the next important file. Next important file after this is HDFS site.xml. What does it contain? It contains configuration settings for HDFS daemons, the name node, the secondary name node, and data nodes. Let's see what is. Okay. Now, Narayan is asking a question. Is this a standard one or some changes may be there based on the config? See, this is a standard file, core site.xml. The name node will always be there in the core site.xml itself. What will your core site.xml contain? Will be changed based on configurations. But your name node will always be present in the core site.xml. Is that fine, Narayan? Okay. Now, let's move ahead and let's see what does my HDFS site.xml. I'll go into these details in the PPT as well, but I just want to show you here so that everything which is seen here makes much more sense. Okay. So two very important things which are here in this file HDFS site.xml are, in the last class we talked about that there's the replication thing we talked about, right? How does Hadoop become fault tolerant? You remember that? It replicates data in 3 places at least default, right? Everyone remembers that? Quickly, a yes. You also remember that, I'm not getting a yes from anyone. Okay. You also remember about rack awareness, which we talked about, that the first part will be stored on rack 1 and the second one will be stored on 2 racks, rack 2, right? On 2 and 3 data nodes, right? You remember that as well? And at that time, a lot of people had this question, how do I change the replication factor? If I need to replicate it more, or I want to replicate the data less times. Now, what, right? That question, everyone had, Dayanand had that question. So this is the place, Dayanand. HDFS site.xml is the file where you change this. So the parameter name is DFS replication and the value here is 1 because we are running on a pseudo distributed cluster. If you have a real-time cluster, this value will become 3. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me what will be the considerations? Now, this is not very important, but it's again a theoretical question. Where would I change the replication factor to more than 3? If you are the architect of the system, you would go ahead and change the replication factor to 3 sometimes, right? The default will be 3. Can someone have an idea? Where would is it a good idea to change it more than 3? What is the trade-off there? Yeah, that I understood. HDFS site.xml you'll go and change. But when do I need a replication factor of more than 3? That is the question. No. Narayan, Dayan is telling cluster having more than 3 data nodes. No, if that is the answer, then probably all of us have got it wrong. Vijay is saying in production, Vijay is saying in multi-cluster. Yes. So my friend Amit has given me the right answer. He says when data redundancy is more important. Now see, even if in a 1000 node cluster also 3 is good enough, right? And the reason for why we kept it 3, not more, is because replicating data takes a lot of resources, and we don't want to just do a replication of 3. Throughput can be got with a 3 replication factor also, Narayan. Okay. It is not dependent upon the cluster size. It depends upon where you need more redundancy. So sometimes you use, Shyam has also given me an answer, where your system is more susceptible to failures, and you want to actually make sure that the data is replicated more times. There you put more replication factor. If your data is not really important, well, there are companies who will be setting up replication factor more than 3. Rahul is asking, is there a real life scenario where replication factor is greater than 3? Yes, if they think that, I mean, see, it's a trade-off. If you are okay to have a 3 replication factor works very well with almost all the production environments. Now, there can be places where I am very, very concerned about my data, okay, and I don't want to have any more. If you put the replication factor of 4, your chances of losing data become almost 0, okay, because there's very little chance that all the things will fail, okay. So 3 to 4 is a big change in terms of reducing the failures and the chance of losing data in case of failures also. But then 3 to 4 is not just a small change. 3 to 4 means you have to, yeah, you have to, no, we have to stop things and then change this, okay. When at the time you have to stop things and then change the replication factors, okay. Now changing 3 to 4 has a big implication on how your cluster will perform, okay, because every time you write a new data, it has to be copied on 4 places. If there's a data node failure, that has to be replicated at least 2 times. So all those things also come into place. It's not just a small number change from 3 to 4. In a real life scenario, this leads to a lot of effort. So you have to be very, very careful if you're changing the replication factor. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Does that, now you know what is the purpose of a replication factor? I want an answer from everyone here. See, if you're a system architect, this question will be asked to you. Okay, even if you're a developer, you should know all these things. Okay, brief. So Vijay is saying he lost connection briefly. So Vijay, see, what I'm trying to say here is that replication factor is something which has to be very clear, thoughtfully decided upon. The replication factor of 3 has been decided upon by Hadoop based on a lot of algorithms, lot of factors, lot of performance trade-offs, that this is a very good thing to make sure that the data is not lost, and it is a very good thing to make sure that we don't hit the performance. So that's the trade-off which is there. Now, if some company believes that their data is very, very important, they can make the replication factor of 4 also, but you have to understand that making replication factor 4 has a lot of implication on the performance as well. Okay, so because every time a data node fails, you have to replicate it twice. Every time you have to move a data to HDFS, that has to be replicated 4 times. Now in our case, when we saw the data in HDFS, we saw just 1 copy. Okay, because it is on a pseudo distributed mode where the replication factor is only 1. If it was in a multi-node cluster, then whenever I copy a data there, you'll actually be able to see 3 copies on different data nodes. Right? Is that so? This is a very, very important concept, guys. This has to be clearly understood. Okay, fine. Now, yeah, Rahul is asking very good question. What about 2 for replication factor? Why is it not used? Trade-off between performance and data redundancy. Yes, that's again. I mean, the performance will improve with replication factor of 2. But if you run those performance tests, you'll see that 3 also works very well. So we have kept, but there is a chance of we don't want to lose data. So it's see, the replication factor of 3 has been arrived not just randomly. Okay. Okay. So Narayan is asking, are we going to set this replication factor once, or whenever required we'll set that factor? Okay. Now when we set up our cluster, we will be setting this replication factor. Yes, Shyam. So Shyam is asking, if we modify any settings, do we need to restart the name node to get that effect, right? So only once. Yes, we will be setting this up only once. If we have to change this, we'll have to restart the cluster once again. Okay. But all these things will be decided not on runtime. It's not that a developer will come and change this replication factor. This will be decided at the time. Okay, this will be decided at the time. Rahul is asking me a question. Rahul, I'll answer that question just a minute. Okay, now this will be decided at the time when you're architecting your cluster. Okay, so that time this decision will be taken whether what should be my replication factor. It is not something which will keep on changing every day. Okay, now Rahul is asking, how did the replication factor come to 3? See, Rahul, we discussed that in detail in the last class also, where we talked about that if we do not have a replication factor of if you have just one place replicated, there is a good chance that you'll keep on losing your data all the time, because data nodes will keep on failing. Okay, now we moved on. Then we also decided that in the system should be rack aware. We should have the second thing on the second rack. So there also we have to yes. So that is where, see, that is where we came to the replication factor of 3, and it is not just a theoretical thing. A lot of performance tests are run, a lot of checks on the on system node failures are run, and then we arrive at the situation that if I set it 3, I minimize my chances of data failure, and I also minimize my chances of I also minimize my chances of going into a performance clog. Okay, is that clear with everyone? Very important thing we discussed in the last class also. Now we have seen it again. Okay, is everyone fine with that, Rahul and everyone? Great, thank you very much. Guys, don't be frugal in writing yeses here. Okay, it really helps me, because since you're not sitting in front of me, I cannot see your eyes. So it's very important that this communication channel should not be broken. So instead of I asking you every time, you can keep on writing, Anup and everyone, keep on writing, yes, I have understood everything, so that I know that we are going in the right direction. Okay. I've still not got yes. Okay. Okay. Now the second important parameter is DFS permissions. Hello. Yeah. So second important factor is DFS permissions. DFS permissions is something like this will tell you whether anyone can write into the Hadoop cluster or not. Who can write in the Hadoop cluster or not. So I will not give this permission to everyone. This will be given to only specific people, and that is where I've set the DFS permission to false. Okay, this is the second important thing. Now I want to tell you one more thing, guys, which is very important for me, may not be for you. If you if I teach someone in a real physical classroom, what I do is I look at them, they'll nod their heads, right? So this yes or a smiley is like nodding your heads, okay? So that I know whatever I'm giving, this gives me a feedback, okay? So I need not ask you this question that have you understood, okay? So keep on nodding heads just by writing smiley S, anything which you do there, any activity which you do there, heartbeat, give me that heartbeat that you are there, okay? It is not required that you have to say yes all the time. Even if you have not understood something, you can say no, right? So I'll understand it that way. Thanks Vinayak for the smiley. So please keep doing that on regular intervals so that I know that I'm going in the right direction. Abhishek, can I quickly get a smiley from you as well? And this is one methodology which we have arrived at, where we make sure that even if we are teaching in a non-physical classroom, we get everyone the instructor gets to know that the people are really following him. So it is not to praise or anything, okay? It is just to make sure that that nod of head which is there in a physical classroom, we have emulated that with a smiley or a yes in this classroom, okay? A smiley gives a good feeling to the instructor as well, that's why we put a smiley. But you are very well, you can write anything there, right? I just want that, okay? And sorry for wasting those 5 minutes for that brief lecture in between. Okay, so make sure that you keep on doing that. Even if I don't ask it, you keep on doing it so that I don't have to ask that. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we've seen two files, HDFS site.xml and core site.xml. These are the most important files in our Hadoop cluster. Okay. Now, as we move ahead, we have something called map-read site.xml. Okay, map-read site.xml will tell me configuration settings for map-reduce daemons, the job tracker and the task trackers. Okay. Yeah, thanks Dayanand. Now, this is really what I appreciate. Just writing a K or anything on that. Okay, you keep writing. I'll not ask you that. Please write. Please write. You keep writing if you've understood this. Okay. Now you can fill in this chat window with yeses. I don't mind that, or S or K, whatever you want to do that. Okay. Please do this activity. Thanks. Now, if we go and look at this file, the more important properties there. Okay, so map-read file.xml tells you where is the job tracker running. Okay, this is the most important property of this file. Okay, this tells you where is the job tracker running. You can keep writing on the chat window if you've understood that, right? So this is the most important thing. Okay, now this tells me that this is the port on which the job tracker is running. Okay, great. So everyone has understood that this is the most important property here. The other things are not all that important. There'll be a few more things which I'll be discussing. I'll be showing it to you just in a while. For now, you have to understand the map-read will have the configuration of the or the IP address of the job tracker. Okay, thank you. Now, great. So there's another file which is called the masters file. Okay, masters file contains the list of machines, one per line, that each run a secondary name node. So last time, yes, normally the job tracker will be running on the name node, right? But if you want to specify it some other place, that's also allowed. This was a question which Anup asked in the initially as well. Narayan is asking question, what about the task tracker and data node info? Just wait for a while, I'll show you that as well. Okay, so now last time we discussed about the secondary name node. Everyone remember the secondary name node? Just write a yes. I'll not ask you what it is. Okay, yes. So we also want to know where the secondary name node should reside. Where should how will my cluster know? How will I know that where my secondary name node is actually running? So the masters file is the file. There were a lot of questions last time. How many secondary name nodes are there, right? So yeah. So yes. No, Yes, so there was, Dayanand is asking a question, we have only one secondary node, name node. No, primary name node is one, secondary name node can be multiple as well. Okay, there's no restriction on that. So let's go and see that. So these are questions which you had in the first class, and I promised you when we go to the second class where we'll look at things on the hands-on, this will be clear. Every name node should have a secondary name node, but it can have more than one as well. Narayan is asking every name node should contain only one. No, it's not only one. Okay. Now there is a file which is called masters. This file is the file where each line will contain the secondary name node information. Okay. So each line will have, if you have one name node, then only one will be specified. If you have multiple name nodes, secondary name nodes, then multiple will be specified. Is that fine with everyone? Quickly. In this case, why is it localhost? It is localhost here because we are running everything on the same machine. Thank you, Vinayak. Thank you, everyone. I really like that. Thanks for your efforts for writing K or a smiley on the chat window. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Now, the second question. Yes, all the secondary name nodes will be active, right? Okay. Now, one more thing which we'll be covering in this class, and I am sure a lot of people have that question. How does that name node? Okay. How does the name node recovery happen? The purpose of having secondary name node, Satyam is asking what is the purpose of having multiple secondary name nodes. Same purpose. I want to build a more robust system because my name node is not a very high availability machine. As I discussed in the last class, name node is a Lamborghini, secondary name node could be a Honda Civic. Honda Civic's breaking down probability is more than a Lamborghini, so we may consider having multiple secondary name nodes, right? Yeah, so same doubt, name node recovery, do not worry about that. I will be showing you that today in the class itself, okay, right? So I'll show you what is the process of doing a name node recovery. Okay. So Vijay is asking me how does the work get distributed amongst? Okay, so I will show you that. I'll show you. I'll tell you that, Vijay, as well. Okay, just hold on. Not the right time to answer that question. Just either in this class or in the next class, I'll show you that. Okay, fine. Is that okay, Vijay? You can park this question with you. Okay, you can even send me this question on email. I can answer it on email as well. Okay, thanks. Okay, great. So now the other question which a lot of people had was, I showed you where the job tracker runs. Where does the data node and the task tracker information get stored? So it is in the slaves file. Okay, so what does the slaves file contain? Slave file contains list of machines, each that run a data node and a task tracker. So if you have to add a new data node onto your cluster, this is the file where you need to add it. Okay, and you will run it obviously there, but unless and until you add it here on the slaves file, sorry, you will not see it. Okay, so this is the place where you will be adding it. Since we have a single node cluster, this contains only one. But if you had a multi-node cluster, it would be containing IP address : port number. Okay, right? Okay. So everyone is clear with that? So we have covered quite a few configuration files, and I think these are the more. Yes, Anup is asking, is the data refreshed in real time when we add a new slave machine? Yes, yes, that is possible. Well, I don't think it said task trackers. Okay, so it is not the IP address of the task tracker there. I'll show you what is about the task tracker. There will be something there. Okay, so now for a multi-node cluster is not a part of this course. Okay, multi-node cluster is a part of your admin course. So if anyone is interested in that, you can go ahead and register for that course. You can speak to the team here. Right, but see, I'll tell you one thing. Now these things are usually not covered in a developer program. I have covered these things just because I want to make sure that you have an idea on how things are looking like. Okay, but you can very well go look at some of these files. I'll also, okay, one more thing which I'm going to tell you is that I'll give you example files of all these, which are the example such files where you can look at all the settings in a file. That path I'll be sending you. Okay, fine. So let's move on. Let's look at what does our, okay, so basically these are the files which you talked about. This is a quick revision. Core file, core site.xml. Can everyone tell me what does the core site.xml contain? I'll answer your questions, guys. Vinayak asked me this question, and yeah, thanks, Vijay. Vinayak, I'll answer that question. I'll answer your question in a short while. Okay. HDFS site.xml contains what? What did we see there? Core file will contain the name node IP address and port number. Right. The replication factor and also permissions. The map reduce. What did the map reduce contain? Quickly, map reduce contained what? Job tracker. Right, Vijay. Thank you very much. Great. So, right. Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Now let's look at a few more things here. Few more important things which are not defined in our single node cluster, but which are important parameters. I wanted to cover these properties. dfs.data.dir. Okay, this contains a list of directories where data node stores the blocks. Okay, so basically there was something called Hadoop tmp dir, which is the dir directory. This is the variable which you'll see in the Hadoop env.sh. Okay, and then the dfs data. So each of the data node will, these are the disk address on which the actual data will be stored on this. Okay, so disk 1, disk 2, disk 3. So if a data node has multiple disks, this is the place where it will be storing it. Okay. And then the second thing is fs.checkpoint.dir. This is the directories where the secondary name node stores the checkpoints. Okay. So you remember what is a checkpoint? Everyone remembers that? The checkpoint is the point. Every time the secondary name node takes a backup, it will put a checkpoint there, right? Right, guys? Everyone is okay with that? Satyam, you're also fine with that? I did not get an answer from Abhishek. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Abhishek. Thank you very much for staying back so late, man. Okay. So checkpoint Hari is the file which will be every time you take a backup, you will be creating a checkpoint. Okay. So this is the place where you actually put the checkpoint. Now these things are not really necessary for you to know, but these are just for your information. Okay. You will not be changing these files as Hadoop development guys or Hadoop architects. You will not be going to change these. You don't know to change these files. As architects, you will be deciding the values there. Okay. Replication factor value, all those things you will be deciding, but you will not be going to changing these files. These are things which the system admin will be taking care of. Hadoop admin will be taking care of. Okay. Now, so this is again we have already seen this, that mapred.job.tracker will be containing, this is the job tracker info. Okay. Okay. Now these are some files which I'll open and show, and I'll also put it in the, yeah, I'll also put it in the chat window. So this is a example core site which contains all the properties. Okay. So you may want to look at these properties. Now I'm not going to cover all these properties in the class. This is just for a reference. You may go and look at it, search for them and look at what are these properties containing. Okay. Now this is, the description is for each of these is specified here. Okay. So now there's no point in covering each of these in the class. It's like covering the syntax of a complete language in a class that, okay, this does this, this does this, this does this. Okay. So I want you to actually go through these, and anyone who's interested, whatever I've told you till now is good enough for you as a developer. Now if you have more interest, you can look at these links and you can understand what is happening there. Is that fine, guys? Everyone is okay with that? Then there is another file. This is the mapred default.html kept here. I want a yes from everyone. You can keep on. So anyone who wants to know more information, what all does this contain? It contains what are the blacklist, a lot of things you'll come to know about it. Okay, not something which I'm going to cover in the class. Okay, but if you want to ask any specific question, you can send me an email at abhishek@edureka.in. I will also not be knowing every information here, but I'll try to find it out and get back to you. Fine, guys. Everyone is okay? Yeah, I will be sending these links are already shared with you, I believe. If they're not, we'll put it in the LMS. Right? Support team, please make a note that put these links in the LMS. Okay. Yeah. Yes, you can use the forum on LMS. I believe the forum has been integrated on the LMS now. Okay. Yes. And it will be, if it not, I was told that it will be done. Okay, the forum has been integrated. So great. So what you can do is quickly go to the forum, everyone. Okay. We are starting a new topic. Yeah, that's a very good idea. Thank you for asking this. And thank you, Vijay, for, yeah. So I'll ask someone on the support team, please put default configuration files is the topic which we are creating here. Okay. Default configuration links, and these guys are posting things here. Now a lot of these questions which you're asking in the class can be posted in the forum. I will be looking at the forum, so people, whoever's questions are remain unanswered, and also some of the questions which were answered in the class, it will be very good idea to post them in the forum now. Okay, so I request all of you, Rahul and everyone who had some questions there which were not in the scope of this class, also post them on the forum. We'll answer them there. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me show where the forum is. Right now, I'll just show you right away. It's a slightly bad design UX wise. They're improving it. It is there right on the top. Everyone is able to see your forum. Whatever courses you are there, yes, you will be able to see others' forums as well. So now you click on Big Data and Hadoop. This will be the course which will be there. And now you will just put this. So there was one discussion which was just started 3 days back. We're just integrating this forum. We wanted to make sure that the forum is integrated with our support ticket solution as well. Now whenever you log a support ticket, you can check the status here itself. Okay, so whatever emails you're sending to the Hadoop email, that gets it gets filed as a ticket, and you can check your ticket status also here. Okay, so thank you very much. So now you can, Satyam, you don't see forum in your, when you log in into your system, you'll see forum. Now anyone who is not able to see the forum link on your top menu, okay, I think no one is able to see that. I will ensure that this is made visible to everyone. Okay, this will be made visible to everyone either today sometime or maximum by tomorrow. Okay, probably they're testing it right now. That's why you're not able to see them. Okay, there's probably in an internal IP that they're able to see it. Okay, so basically in the forum itself, this has been posted here. But very soon this forum will become live, and you'll be able to post things here. Okay, you'll be able to do a lot of things here. I'll be available in the forum as well. Okay, so I will show you the assignments. Assignments are there in LMS. Okay, just a minute. Let me complete this class, then I'll show you the assignments. Okay, now get back to this. These are the files which you have to look at. They'll be sent as well to you. Okay, forum will also be integrated seamlessly in the LMS itself. Okay, now the next thing which we're going to do, we're looking at some of the important, some of the properties from MapRed as well. Okay, we are looking at that, right? So this is, for example, when you said, someone was asking me that question when I showed the slave file, that you said task tracker will be mentioned in the mapred.xml. It is not the task tracker, but some properties related to the task tracker. And these are the properties. Okay. So this tells me MapRed job tracker will tell me obviously the port number, right, where this runs on. This we already know. Local date tells me a list of directories where MapReduce stores in intermediate data for jobs. Okay, when the job ends, this data will be created, but this is the path I'll be using to store those local directories, local files. Okay, then I'll also be using, there is a common file, common directory where I'll also be using shared files. So during a job run, if you need some shared files, multiple job runs may require some shared files. Okay, this will be used here. Okay. Is that clear, guys? Number of map tasks that may be run on a task tracker at any one time is 2, which is specified here. Now, what is the map and what is the reduce? Don't worry about it. Next time I'll tell you. But for now, you can understand that there is a property which using which you can specify how many maps can be run on a single task tracker. Okay, is that fine, guys? Quickly, yes or no? Similarly, how many maps, how many reduces can be run? Next time when you come to the class, when you go after the class, I assure you guys, yeah, so Vinayak, these properties are not in our cluster, in our single pseudo distributed cluster, because they are not required for our single pseudo distributed cluster. Okay, if the cloud or VM does not require, right? But in a real production environment, they'll be there. Okay, now I assure you, don't worry what a map and reduce is today. The next time when you go out of the class, next time, all of you would have written one map reduce program. They would have created a jar file. You would have run a map reduce program on your cluster as well. That is my promise to you. Just wait for some time. That will be done. You will get that idea crystal clear what is a map and what is a reduce. Okay, just take that from me. Just wait till the next class. Not in this class, but in this class, just try to understand and trust me. How many task tracker, how many maps can be run in the task tracker? That's all you need to know. How many reduces can be run in the task tracker? You need to know. This can be set here. That's all. Okay. So good. Now let's move ahead. The slave and the master file we've already seen. Can quickly someone tell me what does the slave file contain? Although it is written here, I still need to know from you guys. Data node, exactly. And task tracker. Right? The masters contain, very nice. So data node and task tracker here. Thank you, Hari. Thank you very much. And the masters file contains what? Secondary name node information. Right? Great. Now, we've come back to the same file from which we started. Hadoop env.sh example. Reason I put it here, guys, is that this is a very, very important thing. Okay. And I want to reiterate it. Okay. I want to repeat it. Now, when you are really working in a cluster, real cluster, you will need to set up a Java home. By default, in our this was commented out because the Cloudera distribution takes care of that. Now, if in your environment Java is somewhere else, you may get errors like you will not be able to run a Java program otherwise. So you have to set this Java home to your installation of your Java. Okay. So in this case, there is this. Java comes built in the Hadoop distribution of Cloudera. Okay. So you don't have to set it. But if you're doing it on your own, you have to set this Java home. Okay. There can be other options also. This is how we set up Hadoop options. If these are the things which you want to set up, by default this will be empty. But if you want to set up some other options, this can be set. What these options are, don't worry about it right now. Okay. So very important thing. Now, very important thing, Hadoop identifier string is $user by default. You can set it here as an environment variable. Okay, you can set any value there to identify your Hadoop instance. Okay, fine, guys. So this is all we need to know. Okay, so you can go ahead and change it in your Cloudera VM. Now, people who are on Putty, right? I want to tell you one thing. Please do not change a lot of things there, because others will be using it. You may be actually making that troublesome for others as well. Okay, so people who are on the VM, who have set up the VM on a local machine, they're free to do anything they want to. But on Putty, please do not do that. Otherwise, the support team will have to do that again. Can I get that promise from everyone that you will not mingle around with that? Okay, thank you. Great. Now, Narayan, what do you want me to explain once again? Can you be a little? Can you elaborate that a bit? Okay. So I can come back, Narayan. Let me move on right now. Hadoop env.sh is the environment file we saw in the beginning also, right? That this environment file is the master file where all the environment variables are set. Okay. Java home is one. Java home by default is set to this variable. Cloudera distribution will have its own Java there. But if you are running in your cluster, you may face this problem. So Java home is something which you need to take care of. Similarly, when you run tools like Pig, Hive, all those environment variables where the setting will be set up in this, right? Okay. Yeah, great. So now, thank you. Now let's move on to a very important concept, that how will you do a name node recovery? If a lot of people had this question last class also, that how will this recovery happen? I did not show you that all that last time. I did not tell you that process because it requires to know, for you to know some files. Okay. So this is how, very simple. The Hadoop architecture is very, very simple. Then if a name node fails, this is what you need to do. I want everyone to read through this and tell me if they've understood it on their own. Otherwise, I'll explain it. I'll give you 1 minute to read through this. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Take 1 minute to read this and I'll tell you if it's still not clear. If it is clear, then very good. If it is not clear, then I'll tell you what it is. Okay guys, so you've all seen what is happening here. Has everyone understood the process? Quickly, yes or no, has everyone understood the process? I know what your questions will be. I know what your questions are. Okay, I quickly want an answer from everyone. Yes. So Abhishek, your question is explain 3 please. Sure, I will explain that. I'll also tell you an, okay, Anup has not understood the process. Okay. I'll also tell you how can you figure this out on your own. Okay, I'll not teach you what is there in these files. I'll tell you how to find that. Okay, now first thing is shut down the secondary name node. If the name node fails, shut down the secondary name node. This is clear to everyone? Quickly, yes or no? Very quick. Okay, great. Second thing is secondary fs checkpoint.dir ko copy it into the name node dfs name.dir file. Now, does anyone know what are these files? What does this contain? Can someone make a guess? You know where to look for it. I just showed you. Yeah, data that is persisted. Great. Yeah, if anyone wants to know what exactly does it contain, I have told you where to look for. Right, guys? So don't have to ask every question to me. It is very clearly specified here. Determines where on local file system. So first one, name dir. You copy this second from the secondary folder to this folder. Now both will be having the same thing because it's a backup only, right? Determines where the local file system DFS name node should store the name table, FS image. If this is a comma distributed list of directories, then name table is replicated in all the directories for redundancy. Okay. What this means is where exactly which all directories will be used, okay, to store the data. Okay, so that is it. Now, second one is name.edits.dir. Okay, determines where on local file system name node should store the transaction files. Okay, edits files. So there are some transaction files which have to be stored. So this is where it will be kept. Basically, the whole purpose is, now don't ask me this question that what does this contain? Can someone tell me what does this contain? fs.checkpoint.dir. Backup of what? Backup of this. So don't try looking for this file. Right? Is that clear, guys? You should not ask me, you explained me dfs.name.dir, you did not explain me fs.checkpoint.dir, right? Because it contains the backup of this. So what is the, if a name node fails, what will you do? What, as a person, what will you do? You will shut down the secondary name node because you don't have to take any more backups, obviously. That's the reason you'll shut it down, right? Because the name node itself will fail. Why will the secondary name node keep on running? You shut it down, then you copy the backup files from the secondary name node to the name node, and then when the copy completes, start the name node and then start the secondary name node, right? So these are the two important files which you need to copy. That's all. Okay, so you understood how does the name node recovery works now? Everyone is clear on that? Quickly, yes or no, a smiley. Guys, things are very simple and they are very logical. Okay, I'm sure a lot of you people would have understood this on your own. Sometimes we just, Narayan, what do you mean by theoretically yes? These are files, man. You want me to fail a name node and show it to you? You can do that at your end. Okay, stop a name node, see, go and look at the secondary name node file and look at this. I mean, in a Hadoop cluster, this is how it will be. This is not theoretical. This is practical. Theory was last time when I told you that the name node, secondary name node keeps a backup of that. Now I've showed you how does the process work. How to stop a secondary name node, that also I've told you already. If you look at the Hadoop command, that has that thing, right? You remember that? In the beginning of the class, you probably missed that. Let me show it to you once again, how to stop and start a name node. Then you will say that it is, I explained practically. See, theory is more important than practical, guys. Okay. Because practical, though, anyone can do. Right? If you don't understand what you are doing, anyone can do. I can give you a list of commands, you can do everything. So I'm really sorry if you missed 2 hours of the class today, Narayan, then you should not ask me this question. Because I cannot repeat whatever is there in the class. What you can do, Narayan, I'm anyways hosting this class once again on Wednesday. Anyone who wants to come there can ask questions. Yeah. So guys, one very important input. I'm from an old man. Sometimes people say, I want to do only practical. I don't want to understand the theory. Guys, theory or concept is more important than what you are doing here. Running a cat command does not help. Anyone can run it. You don't need any training for that. All the people in the software industry are doing practical work only. They don't understand why they're doing it. Okay. When I talk to new engineers, even senior people who are who have reached very senior position also, they'll tell me, don't tell me theory, yaar, I don't want to understand. I know practical. Okay. There's nothing like practical if you don't know the theory. Right? You will just work like a bull who doesn't know what he's doing, where his life is going. I know some of you will be pissed off by this, but take it from an old man. Guys, it is very important to understand what you are doing and then how you are doing. And much more important than that is why you are doing. So the why question is the most important question. The what question is a little less important than why question, and the how question is the least important question. But it is very important, because if you don't do that how, people will say that you are not working. You are not, Gita ka पाठ नहीं होगा कि आपको कर्म तो करना ही पड़ेगा. तो कर्म is why, कर्म is how. Okay. Why should I do that? If you ask that question to Arjun asked that question, right? Ki, why should I kill my brothers? Okay, so that is why. That is very important. Now Vijay is telling me these are googlies and bouncers. I know. See, I am an old man, so I'm sorry. The class is anyways over. So yeah. Anyways, now the important thing is why is very important. Then what and then how. Okay. So I'll not get into that Updesh. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes I get a little carried away, which I'm really sorry. I know you did not like that. Okay. Anyways, so now what we've seen today is how does a secondary name node come back. Now I want to give you a small assignment. Assignment is that there is a file which is called Hadoop metrics.properties. Okay. Which is saying Sundays are anyways reserved for Mahabharat. So okay, I'm sorry so you can save some time on Mahabharat if I give you that here itself. Okay, thank you. Okay, so yeah, so this is one assignment which I'm giving you today. You have to look at this file, understand what this file contains. Okay, next time I'll ask you that question. Very simple, nothing more, nothing great in that. A very simple thing. Okay, will everyone try doing that? Yes or no? Great, thank you. So let's do a quick round of revision. Yeah, that is Abhishek, you have to find that. That is the assignment, right? So Abhishek is asking, where do we find the file? I am not going to tell you everything. You have to find your way on your own. Is that fine, Abhishek? If you don't find it, I'll answer that. Okay, it's not very difficult. We've already seen that file once. Okay. Now, okay, so let's do a quick revision what we did today. Okay, and as promised, I'll also try to create a small video which will summarize whatever we spoke in the last in the class 3-hour class, except that Mahabharat thing, Vijay, in a 10-minute video, and you'll get a quick highlights. It will be like a match highlights. Okay, so I'll send you that as well. I'll try to create that video today and I'll send it across. Okay, thanks. Okay, so now what did we learn today? We started with, not with Mahabharat. We started with a quiz on the last session. You have to just quickly answer yes or no. Okay, we started with a quiz on the last section. We talked about Gen 1, Gen 2, Hadoop, right? All those things were talked about. Then we did a revision. Then we got into that problem of remote access and Cloudera VM. People were not able to find where to look, how to log in, all those problems we faced, right? Yes or no, quickly write it. Then the first command, when we were able to figure that out, the first command which we ran was Hadoop. It was called Hadoop, only Hadoop, nothing else. The command gave us an output which showed us a lot of things there. A lot of things, it would show how to start a name node, how to stop a name node, all those commands were there. We did not run those commands though. Then we looked at a readme file which showed that using a disk, yeah, Vinayak, yes, I'll stop here. Vinayak wants to ask me a question, so I'll just take a interrupt here. Anyways, we are into the last 5 minutes of the class. Yes, Vinayak, the class recording will be there. Obviously, it will be there. I'll show you where it will be kept. So don't leave the class before I tell you to leave today. I'll show you all these things. I'll make sure all your confusions are clarified here. Okay. Now, then we opened a readme file which very clearly specified, and when I say something, you people don't agree. When Cloudera says, you people all agree. So that's why I showed you that Cloudera says that whatever programs you write here will run as exactly as such on a real life cluster also. Okay. I will show you everything, Amit, please don't worry. Okay, so that readme file was there. I want everyone to look at that readme file. It is there in the conf folder. We went to the conf folder. Yes, guys, everyone knows the conf folder? Right. We saw that readme file, and then we proved that if we do everything on the pseudonode cluster, we'll still become developers which can work in a real life situation and not theory, guys. Okay. Okay. Now, after that, after we saw that, we did a ls on a Unix directory. We saw how a local Unix file looks like. Okay, so Shyam is asking very important question. I'm sure a lot of people will be having that question. I didn't get the download link for the video for the last class, requesting to send the download link for the video for this session and the last session. I think there is some problem with Firefox. If you look at that, the team uses Wistia streaming server for hosting that. And the download property that at Wistia does not work very well Firefox. If you use a Chrome, you'll see the download link as well. Okay, I'll show you just now how does download work. Okay, so after the class, I'll answer all these questions once again about the LMS. Okay, now coming back to that, we saw you have to again start writing this rapid fire thing. ls, we saw ls command where we saw the directory listing in a local file. Then we saw dfs ls where we saw the directory listing on the Hadoop cluster. Okay. And then we went on and we saw a 3 set of web URLs which could show us the which were these web URLs which could show us how does this this name node and the job tracker status we saw, right? Then we ran then we showed you a Hadoop jar command which showed me one example of a jar which is a Java archive in which multiple MapReduce programs were there, right? We saw some of those programs. We saw that there was a word count program, there was a TerraGen program. We ran one of the TerraGen programs, okay, which was a MapReduce program on our cluster on a small data set, and we saw how the files are getting dumped there, right? How it runs. Then we created it on a large data set. Then we saw the status changing on these name node and the job tracker, right? Keep writing yes or no, right? Then we saw the output on the DFS as well, right? We saw the output of that file on the distributed file system, right? Then we got that output back from the distributed file system using the dfs get command to our local file system. We also showed you how to get the local file system to the output file system on the DFS, right? We saw that as well, right? So how to move files between DFS to local and from local to DFS, both the things we saw, right? And then we showed you the output of the file as well. Then we took a break, which went on for 15 minutes, right? And where I had some cold water, and you were talking to the support team. Some of the people were not able to get their doubts clarified from the support team. Then they can talk to the support team after that. Okay, get and put has not worked for you, Amit. You can get in touch with the support team. They'll show you how to get it working. Okay. Now after that, we started looking at the conf files. The conf files, the important conf files which we saw were Hadoop env.sh file was the one. Then we saw the core site.xml file. Then we saw the MapRed file, and then we saw the SDFS site.xml file, right? So this is all we did in the class today. And then we finally saw how does a name node recovery happen if the name node fails. So that's all we saw in the file. So whatever I have just spoken now will probably come in a small video and will be given to you for revision. Does that sound like a good idea to everyone? That's all we did, right? So that without that Mahabharat and the Buddha Baba's lecture, okay, you can just do whatever was required to the point. Is that fine, guys, everyone? Great. Now, so that is all I wanted to cover in today's class. Now I want to tell you what I want you guys to do after you go out of this class. I want everyone to get ready with this cluster thing. Okay, I want everyone to run these commands. We have some commands there on the website. You have to run those commands from the LMS. Okay, try out a lot of things. Go through those MapRed files which I showed you. Narayan, I could not understand your question. How are you seeing all these things at the end in a sequence? Oh, I remember these things. Yaar. See, I am old age guy. So I remember whatever I have taught. Okay. So that is all I do, right? On Sundays I play Mahabharat. Okay. So I remember that. Okay, Narayan. Don't worry about now. The important thing is that you should also know these things. And please guys, make sure that you spend some time after the class also, because otherwise this will just remain like Mahabharat lecture only. Okay. And after the class you'll think that okay, some old man came and taught me something, he gave me some lecture, I could not get anything, because the old man cannot practice on your behalf. Okay. So now coming back to this, some people have this question, where do I find things on the LMS? How do I download videos? So let me show you that once again. Okay, so in the My Courses section, there is this Java Essentials for Hadoop. Now this week is going to be a very hectic week for you guys who do not know Java. Okay, so you have to try out these Java lectures as well, because next class is MapReduce. You will need some Java there. Do you promise me to go through this Java thing on your own today, this week? You need to find some time, guys. Okay, so there are some 7-hour content here. You have to go through this. Okay, you need to know some Java. Next class and the class after next will be MapReduce. Okay, so we will be running some Java programs as well. And by the end of those 2 classes, you will become experts in MapReduce. But if you do not practice, you will become zeros again. Okay, so you have to practice on your own. I cannot come to your home and practice for you. So practice has to be done by you. So this is where you find this. Now let me show you how to download a video. Shyam, this is for you. So if you're running on this on a Chrome browser, this is not in our system. This is a third-party tool. It is called Vistia, and this is the download link here. Okay, so if you click that link, you will be able to download things. Okay, is that fine, everyone? Who wanted to know how do I download the videos? Quickly, yes. Use it on a Chrome browser. I cannot make it browser compatible because this is a third-party tool. They have not made it. We cannot really do that here. Okay. Great. So this is how you play a video. The UI looks very good to me. I have congratulated these guys about the very good UI of how does the video open. Looks really cool the way it opens. What is your opinion, guys, about this? Does it look good? It's a good way of showing the video? Yes or no? No one cares, man. Okay. Satyam has said cool. Okay, and one more thing guys, thank you, and one more thing guys, any inputs on how to improve this system, right? Because you are the users of this system, all of you are from the software background, you know only customers can improve a product. The team cannot. The team who is doing this will never know what they are doing. Okay, so only you people can improve this. Please keep on giving your suggestion in the forum also. Okay, we will get that forum on also, right? Now if you have to open the assignment, this is the place. You can even download it here. Okay, it will download it here. It will download it as a RAR file. You can open it and do it here. Okay, fine. So the problems related to the video, how do I get them, are all solved. It is, the whole thing is arranged in this order. So this order is also very important. Getting started with Hadoop has a simple video, nothing much. This will show you how the classes have happened, what will you get at the end of it. It has one of my videos only, the class 1 video which they put on the YouTube also. If you like that, you can go and share with other people, and you can go and like that as well. Not many people do that, they don't like me, but if you like me, you can do that. Okay, so do we have to submit the assignments in the class or before the class? Okay, so it will be good if you can attend session. See, the sooner you do, the better it is. Okay, chat session on this thing, I have removed this Satyam, because otherwise you will not do anything. Anytime you face a problem, you'll ask the person on the support team. That is not, the support team will not be available when you really work in a real life. Okay, so I will also be monitoring the time you're spending with the support team. Okay, you should not, ideally you should spend almost an hour or so with the support team, not more than that. Okay, and over a period of time, your time with the support team should go down. So because otherwise, if you're asking the support team to do the assignments for you, that is not going to help. Is that fine, guys? But if no one is taking any help from the support team, then they have to. Okay, Satyam is saying I have not got any reply on the email. So Satyam, don't worry. The email now, from now onwards, CC me in that email, abhishek@edureka.in. All of you are in my batch. I'll make sure that if these people don't respond, but you have to also allow some time for getting a response. See, all of you are working. How long did you send the email? If you do not get a reply in say 5-6 hours in an email, then it is definitely something which you should escalate. But sometimes it may take some time, right? Because you have to understand there will be not many people. Everyone has to prioritize things. Is that fine, guys? You can copy me. 10:44 is not too long, yeah. It is just 2 hours, right? Do you work in a company, Satyam? Do you answer all your client queries within 5 minutes? So sometimes, yeah, that will be the case. If there is anything urgent, copy me, just mark urgent in the email. Someone will look at it, okay? Okay, Satyam. So treat the team also. Okay, Narayan is saying I'm getting good response from Edureka support. Thank you, Narayan. Anyone else who shares that? Abhishek, how about you? I heard from the support team that you had some bad experience early on. Is it better now? Vinayak is saying good. Okay, Abhishek, how about how is it now? Okay, Abhishek is much better. So guys, anytime, okay, Hari is saying I got a quick reply for my assignment. I have got support till 4 a.m. in the night, Dayanand tells me. Okay, what were you doing till 4 a.m. and how much? That was awesome, thank you. So some people, see, support bandwidth is limited. Dayanand, you should not take support till 4 a.m. in the morning. Okay, I'm not saying you should not. You should definitely take as much help as possible, but try to do things on your own as much as possible. Okay, is that fine, guys? And anything awesome support is what Hari is telling me. Okay, so some people will have great, some people will not have all that great experience. Anyone who needs any escalation, copy me in an email. I'll take care of that. Okay, in my batch. Fine, guys. Thank you very much. Now let's okay. Now let me show you how are things arranged here. So Java classes, then there is a set of previous class recordings. Thank you, Vijay. You can look at them before coming to the class. They may not be exactly in sync. Just a minute, Narayan. Let me explain this, then I'll answer your question. They may not exactly be in sync with what I am teaching in the class right now. Okay. Yeah. Because these were earlier class recordings, some things keep on evolving, but these give you an idea on what is happening in the class. Okay. All the class presentations are here as well. So you can download them as well. You can watch them as well if you want to watch them. Very cool way of watching them, right? It opens right here. I don't know why it is not opening. You can watch these here. Some people want to, so this is how you can quickly revise your class. Okay. Some people want to download them. You can download them as well, but I don't see any reason why you should download them. You can watch them here itself, right? If you watch them in full screen, you can go to a full screen here as well. Okay, cool. So that's a very, I really like this integration. So then one set of class recordings are here. The installation things are here. It is recommended CGS3. The support team is very quick. I told them that put it recommended here. They've already done it. Great job, guys. So I want everyone to use this. Don't use this one. This is just there because some people will come, hey, you are not teaching me Gen 1 Hadoop. I'll tell them there's nothing like Gen 1 Hadoop to be taught. Okay. Whatever is there in Gen 1 Hadoop is good enough. We will be covering some of the things in Gen 1 to Hadoop towards the end of the course. But if you are really planning to work somewhere, Gen 1 Hadoop is the thing which you will be using most of the time. Okay, Gen 2 Hadoop, I don't think anyone is using till now. Okay, very few people will be using that too in a very, very limited environment. Okay, so this is what we will be using. Now, your class recordings will be coming in here. Okay, so whichever batch you are in, I am not in this batch. So this is the place you will find your quiz, you will find your assignment. Okay, Amit? And here itself, your class recording will be uploaded. You don't have to ask the support team where my class recording will come. When will it come? It will come within one day. Within 24 hours of the class, this will be uploaded here. So you can come tomorrow this time. Sometimes it will be done in the night itself. The support team tries to complete it in the night time itself, but best is that you have to look at this. So answers to the assignments, yes, you can send an email to the hadoop@edureka.in, mark your batch ID and your assignment number. These guys will look at it. And you can copy me. I will also look at it. Sometimes I may not be able to look at all of the assignment answers, but then the support team will remind me if I have not looked at something. Because every email you send to hadoop@edureka.in, which is mentioned here at the top, each of this gets logged in as a ticket. Very soon you will have an interface using which you will have this forum here, using which you can check your ticket status. You can log a ticket here directly. Okay, the team is working here. It is an internal IP right now. I believe within a day or two, this will be live to you. So every ticket status you can check here. I sent an email. What happened to that? What is happening there? This will be available here. Isn't it cool, guys? Right? I did not get any response. Did no one like that effort? Okay. So, and okay, great. Thanks. Now, coming back, assignments, you know what to do. Every week you have to look at this place after the class assignment and this. Send the assignment to hadoop@edureka.in. Copy me. If I'm not able to look at them, the team will look at them. They'll remind me that there's something pending on your part. Because for me, the mails, I may get lost in emails. Anything which you'll send to hadoop@edureka.in gets logged in as a support ticket. Okay. So I think that is it from my side. Any more questions you have, you can quickly ask them. Otherwise, I'll take a break here. Okay. And I'll see you in the next class. For the Wednesday class, the support team, if anyone who wants to attend that class, please send an email by today evening, okay, India time, so that if no one wants to attend it, I will not come. Okay, so please do that for me. If you want to attend it, send an email to hadoop@edureka.in. I want to see that. In my Chrome, I cannot see the course itself. Yeah, please, Dayanand, please go ahead. Amit is asking me. Okay, my course you are not able to see. Tell the support team, they'll help you out with that. Okay, Amit? Send an email to Hadoop. The same thing you send an email to Hadoop, they'll help you out. They'll figure out if there's something from the back end which needs to get changed. Default node was created, name node. Yes. Any more questions, guys? Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, please ask question from the first class. I can answer it. You can write it here. So guys, anyone else? I mean, they can. Okay. See, in a Hadoop cluster, there's the communication between, there's no two name node communication. Okay. There's only a single name node, so there's no name node communication between the two name nodes. Okay. Wait. Just a minute. Let me tell you one more thing. Guys, so I want everyone to go through these and come prepared in the next class. Okay. Okay. So Narayan, just give me 5-10 minutes here. Let me finish the class. I'll stay back. Okay. I'll answer your question there. Okay. Let me say goodbye to everyone. Some people have already left. No one has left here. Thanks. Okay, great. So guys, thank you very much for your time today. Abhishek and people from the US, thank you very much for staying late. Okay, and goodbye. And I hope next class you'll come better prepared so that all of us can derive much more value from it. Next class will be MapReduce. So please go through your Java sessions before that. You'll need some Java thing, right? Okay, and any questions, send an email to hadoop@educator.in. Thanks, Shyam. Shyam says the session was excellent. Thank you very much, Shyam. I'm sure it can be better if we can manage time better if a lot of you can come prepared a little bit, right? So thank you very much. Anyways, I really like the way you people are interacting, and I'm really thankful to you for that, right? And thanks for keeping on this yes or the smiley thing going, because that tells me whether I'm going in the right direction. Okay, thank you very much, guys. So I'll take your leave, Narayan. I'll stay back for you. Yeah, thank you very much. And very soon we'll have the forum integration as well, so that you can communicate with each other as well during the week, right? That's underway. Very soon it will be there. Okay, so now everyone can leave, and I hope you spend some real quality time on this, so that we can make a really good. You can really become experts by the end of this course. Narayan, now you can ask your question here. Bye-bye. Thanks, Vinayak. Really appreciate your time. Rahul, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Anup. Vinayak, some of the questions I'll answer in the next classes. Yeah, Narayan, I'll unmute you after everyone leaves. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. And some of these questions, which are outside the scope of this class, keep sending an email to hadoop@edureka.in. Copy me in that. If I think that I can answer that, I'll answer that. Okay. Thank you. Please do not wait for the class to start for asking questions. You can ask questions during the week as well. Okay. Rahul, your questions can also be answered offline as well, right? Amit, you are clear now with everything which you wanted to know about LMS and everything? You had some questions, Amit? And if you guys, if you're done, you can, yeah, great. Now, see, as per the protocol, I'll be the last person to leave the class, so you need not wait for me. Yeah, please go through the recording, no problem. Please go through the recording. And anyone who wants to attend the same class again, yeah, they can send an email today by evening. Okay, Amit. The class will be on Wednesday, 8 p.m. The same class I'll be hosting that once again. So if you want to attend that, I can be made available then. Just make sure before the class, the cluster and everything is set up with you. 8 p.m. India time. Wednesday, right. Support team will send you an email as well. If you want to attend that, you can attend that then. But it doesn't mean that you will not do the things on your own. Please practice everything on your own so that you make the most of the class and we don't have to run into a 3-hour session there. This can very well be completed in an hour and a half. Okay, Amit? Okay, Amit, so you can leave now. I think that's it for the class, so that I can also get offline after all of you have left. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Amit. You too have a good weekend. Bye-bye.